It's all part of a new program we like to call Deep Hurting. Deep Hurting.
Desperate. Your turn.
Desperate.
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 The only good bug is a dead bug.
Fucking degenerate.
You know, those college kids turn up oil or uranium or something out there? Next thing, the feds will be at our door. Sorry, time to move. Eminent domain.
Down, honey, down.
Wussy. 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 Wussy.
Suppose you folks want to touch the llama, huh? That's right, huh? You want to touch this old llama? Well, you just go right ahead. You can touch that old llama all you want. You can touch that old llama all night till hell freezes over. Not me, though. No sirree, Bob. I wouldn't touch that whole thing. Llama hasn't been feeling so good. Woo! And it smells funny, too. Whoa! Smells really kind of rank, you know? But you can touch it if you want. Ain't no law says you can't. Ain't that right, Mikey? Ain't there no laws that says folks can't touch this smelly old llama if they want, huh, Mikey, huh? Huh?
You people bring matches for Mikey?
You shut up, Mikey! You shut up! You folks don't give no matches to Mikey! You hear me? You hear me? I don't care what Mikey say or Mikey do! Don't give him no matches! I don't care if Mikey come crawling in through your window! Start making this big old mess! Don't you give no matches to Mikey! Don't you give no matches! Shut up, Mikey! Shut up, Mama! You shut up, Mother! Don't give no matches! No matches to Mikey! Shut up, Mikey!
ほんと来んのか？
こちらが来る。
おお、ついに来たか。
こちら、迎え入れます。
いやいや、何言ってるんですか？もっと論理的に説明してください。
生き物だからそれお腹減りますよ。
お腹が空いたのね。
ゴジラ来店。
いらっしゃいませ、こんにちは。
ゴジラ対マクドナルド。
普通じゃないんだ。こっちも普通じゃ話にならんでしょ。
妥協なし。
いつものバーガーじゃダメだ。
逃げたくない。
妥協なし。ついに完成だ。究極完成。
こっちはゴジラ。ここにゴジラバーガーがあるわ。
肉厚ビーフざく切りポテト、スモーキーペッパーチキン、チーズダブル照り焼き。
お待たせしました。
ゴジラバーガー。タラッタッタッター。
I'm sick of Godzilla.
So, did I win?
No.
I'm sorry,
I'm not the one you should be f***ing apologizing to.
You tried to kill me! Stop whining!
No!
Jaden, you have a right to be angry. You want revenge. You deserve it, Jaden.
Thank you.
No problem.
No, Jaden, wait! Apology accepted, Rosh.
Good, that's settled. And remember, it's Jaden. I mean, Kyle. Call me Kyle.
Sure thing, Kyle.
Okay. You're both ready to start putting what you've learned to use. Let's see how you do in the real... What the... Are you here? Stupid shit.
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith, number 133. I hope you're all doing wonderful tonight. I am your host, the Fractured Filter, and with me is the late and hitman, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
I was not late. Very late. I was late a little bit.
A little bit. Oh yeah, just a little bit.
Fine.
Yeah.
Usually static's late, so it's fine.
Only by a couple. We don't go as long as we did being this late.
Yeah. Only 9 minutes, so it's fine.
You know.
Sad day though. Sad day.
Why? What happened?
Well, we'll get into it, but
we'll get into a bunch of it, yeah.
Oh yeah. This sad news. It's okay though.
Okay. So nothing else to report on there, sir? You did. Otherwise, you're doing good. You doing good.
I mean, it was really just my dog. She my new puppy. She saw some Star Wars stuff, DSW stuff, and she had a diarrhea accident, so I had to go wash her up.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So,
Lord have mercy.
It proves to you that like DSW will give you diarrhea.
It'll give you the liquid shits. It will.
It will.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we already had the chat quickly popping off here, because we had Dan Blackroyd before I even launched the stream, who was in here saying, "Ooh, we are lucky, boys. This week a brand new Thunderbolts TV spot drops,
which we will be watching tonight."
Yes, we will, just in time for the stream. If you haven't heard the news yet, Thunderbolts will be really good. And Dan Blackroyd did get that to me. I have it. It's ready to go in just a moment. So we will be getting to that. And Captain Keeley was in there early as well, saying good day all. Hello, sir. Hello to Melissa Lord, saying, hey, Fractured Filter. I hope you're doing well, Melissa. And I was trying my best to also entertain the chat. Static, how you doing, sir? Saying, ha, late and Hitman it is.
Usually Static's late, so I don't want to hear
it. Dan Blackroyd said, it's okay. I'm watching the Thunderbolts TV spot until you start. Melissa Lord called it a new Bucky and the Rejects TV spot. She's not a fan. Black Pill Timon, how's it going, sir? Saying, now I'm hungry. Like I said in the chat, and the Hitman, Japan just has the best commercials. Even though they say that people need to have such reverence and respect for Godzilla, they'll whore Godzilla out for a McDonald's commercial like that. But man, their TV spots are freaking glorious. Just for that fact. Nerdy Neo, are you queer? Yeah, the Jedi Outcast re-editeds are just peak. Nerdy Neo that said great Jedi Outcast clip. You mean where they all get vented out out into space? Poor stormtroopers. F to pay respects for them stormtroopers. It's one of my favorites, and you know what? I definitely had to make sure and dig that one back up because it's a classic. We had it before in our intros, and I was like, you know what? It's time. I had to bring it back. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna waste no time, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna bring the pain.
I don't know what is the hype about this Thunderbolts? Is it really hype, or are we just being messed with?
Well, Liquid Blake is really digging on it. He seems to be really high on the whole thing. So, I'm just trying to embrace the positivity he seems to be giving. So, yeah. Shall we try our hand at it a little bit?
I don't know if I believe you.
Dude, I'm trying here. Okay. It was
which is better, this one or the Obama woman president movie.
Oh God, that one.
That Brad was really excited about.
Brad was really excited to have us watch that one. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Which one's better?
I'm gonna probably say the Marvel slop would be better than the
female president,
the female
Power Woman.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's as the clip was, we'll get into the deep hurting. Well, we'll see. Like it is. My whole outlook this year was to try to be positive. I have been failing.
Miserably.
Shut up, you. All right, let's.
Really bad.
Oh. When you got stuff like this, though, it's just so difficult to be so. I try though. Lord, do I try. And it's now available for you, Hitman, in the Discord. All right. This one, I mean, look at that. The title also, Absolute Cinema. Even though they're, I don't know if that's just because of what the clip is being called or what, but apparently it's absolute pure cinema. All right, let's do this. Can you hear it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something wrong.
Are not coming. Who will keep people safe?
The one I kind of dug the music to it, the whole like kind of synth wavy music.
No.
No. I mean, the only thing that I know is like John Walker is supposed to be the guy that did nothing wrong. They tried to make him a villain, and that's about as far as I know about him. The problem is that I'm seeing with this is that they just can't maintain a tone. Like, is it supposed to be like comedy? Is it supposed to be serious? Like the way it's not. The consistency is just all over the place. There isn't consistency. It's just all over the place. It's
how dare you even put consistency in the same sentence as Marvel?
I had to retract it. I quickly retracted that. I said it lacked consistency.
Yeah.
It's all over the place with this trailer. And the Marvel humor, dude, like
it's just bad. Just bad.
I mean, I'm sure that there could be something that's actually good to all of this.
Probably not.
I don't know. I see her and I just all I can think is more like current year politicians and stuff like that.
As my brother in all of this, and because I love you so much, I would just like to advise you or implore you. We'll use the term implore. I'd like to implore you to stop with this positivity. It does not suit you. Be aggressive with this. This is absolute.
Listen. I said I wasn't doing a very good job at it already.
Well,
okay.
Yes.
But I every so often it's like you want to try to do that. Just to
131 episodes of this show, we have never once been positive.
Why do I suspect I would rather watch that Deep Space Nine episode than this?
Because I would. That is, if we're throwing Latinum, gold-plated Latinum down right now, it would be the reverse. This would be a 1, and that episode in DS9 would be a 10.
Pretty much, man. Oh, why?
I don't get it.
Don't get what?
Just the day and age of just absolute trash. Absolute trash. Like I love Liquid Blake, love him to. I can't get excited for this because there's nothing to get excited about.
Nerdy Neo filter, be positive. I'm trying. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Just stop being positive. There's no what. Okay, let's just do this from an unbiased perspective. What is there to be positive about this? Like you said, music. But even the music was like, what? I'd rather listen to Night the Rockberries. Roxbury.
Oh God. What was the guy? What was the guy in the chicken suit? Like what the hell? What even was that? What is this? What are we doing here?
Pull up the trailer of the woman president, the powerhouse.
No, I am not doing that again. I am
I'd
not
rather watch that one than this one.
No.
Please.
No.
You know you want to.
Star Wars Scran is saying Thunderbolts will save Marvel. I don't think anything is saving Marvel. Not even the freaking Daredevil saving Marvel at this point. That thing is having.
Let's just talk about the leaks on episode 2.
Hang on. We'll get. Dan Blackgray says there isn't a lot of new stuff in this TV spot. More hints at what the actual story is. There's a freaking guy in a chicken suit. What more are we getting out of this than the last trailer that we watched and subjected ourselves to? But he is convinced 10 out of 10 must see, and he thinks it gets better every time. Melissa Lord says she likes Bucky. John Walker's okay, but the rest are losers. And again, Dan Blackgray is just all over it. He's saying peak cinema. God. I'm sorry, dude. I'm just not seeing it. Dan Blackgray says some things hint it is inside Century's mind. The chicken, it all looks like they are protecting Bob. Oh, I guess I kind of get what you're talking, because it kind of gets all surreal. We're like that with and everything. So, okay, I kind of see what you mean there. And then, yeah, at the beginning, because he says Yelena is trapped in her memories too. That's probably this spot here, because then it's doubled up. So I get what you're saying with okay, but like I'll say it. I'm a normie when it comes to a lot of other characters outside of Spider-Man. I don't know a lot of their lore and everything. So it's just unfortunate. Like that has to be like pointed out to me, and I'm feeling really retarded. Like I sometimes feel smart, at least when we watch Deep Space Nine, and I manage to catch on to the plot points as we're watching through, and I'm calling it out. And Brad doesn't tell me immediately, but he kind of strings it along, and I get the impression that I'm right, but he doesn't tell me I'm right until the end. But like, I don't know. Like I said, I kind of dug aspects of the trailer. It's just, that could just be me trying to, get too positive. Maybe the toxic positivity. You're just like full on screw this movie.
Yeah, it's not good.
All right. Well, we opened up with a little bit of deep hurting for Hitman and
I'd probably rather watch Fantastic Four.
Oh, good Lord. Don't get started on that one.
Like, that looks more entertaining.
Possibly. We'll see. Let me go back through some of the other comments really quick here. Nerdy Neo said DSW. Is that a show company? He means Disney Star Wars. That's what he was talking about. Oh, is that a shoe company?
Yes, it is a shoe company.
Sounds like it, right? Dan Blackroyd said, I'm sad we have to wait nearly 2 months for Thunderbolts to release in the cinema. Dan Blackroyd said, Melissa's just full of hate. For once, I'm not the only black. It's not just me, not just black-pilled fractured. Dan Blackroyd said, how dare everyone keep questioning my credibility? I am always sincere. I think he's leading us down a dark path, sir. And he said, I don't think you saw the same trailer I did. I guess I didn't. I guess I'm just not. And hello, Gabriel Knight saying, woo! How's it going? Star Wars Marvel purist with the yo! How's it going, sir? Dan Blackroyd said it's all good things. Marvel purist said juggling clown guardian. Dan Blackroyd said, I felt like I was back dancing with Zemo again. Interesting. Star Wars Grant said it looks on par with Infinity War. You know, I'm sensing a bunch of sarcasm in the chat. What about you, Hitman?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Scourge, how's it going? Saying the character of Bucky Barnes has fallen so far. Well, when you're still accepting that Marvel paycheck, yeah, you're not going to be treated very well, at least character-wise. Yeah, you're getting your money, but your character's getting assassinated. Probably worse. Probably not as bad as in the comics yet, but it'll probably get there. Gabriel Knight said, someone said Thunderbolt is an indie A24 feeling assassin movie with Marvel superheroes. I'm sold. Blake is right. Marvel Pure said Punisher iconography lecture incoming. Dan Blackroyd said some weird things with the physics. Gabriel Knight said this movie will make more money than Avengers Endgame. Oh, Marvel Pure said Sentry sucks ass. I don't know enough about him to form a real opinion.
What was wrong with Endgame? I thought it was great.
Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop. Don't.
You didn't think so?
No, we talked. You wanted me to watch both Infinity War and Endgame to get your biases confirmed. That
Yeah.
I also thought both of those movies were horse shit.
Really?
Don't do that.
I thought they were peak cinema.
Dan Blackroyd says this will be way better than Fantastic Four. You know, it's probably not a high bar to get over at this point. Timon saying, I don't even care anymore. Dude, I understand. I do. Dan Blackroyd said it has an actual hook. They are all lost, looking for a purpose in the world. I think it's the most organic movie from the MCU in years. Dan Blackroyd says, Scran gets it. He knows good quality when he sees it. Dan Blackroyd says, Gabriel speaks with authority and clarity. Well, everybody's broing up in the chat, except for a few on this movie. So you know what? I'm glad at least it could bring some people together, make them stronger, you know, some real positive, good energy, good vibes, man.
I will tell you this: Marvel, in my opinion, right? And Marvel hasn't been good since Phase 1, and even Phase 1. No, I'd say it. Yeah, they haven't been good since Phase 1. There's a couple movies in Phase 2 that were good. Like Iron Man 2, like I liked. I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but really after Phase 2, like and then like the Eternals sealed their fate. Sealed the fate. Like
no, Endgame was the sealing of its fate, because that is when they should have just either ended it, or they should have ended it there, or they should have rebooted everything.
You told me that you enjoyed Endgame.
I never told you that.
Yes, you did. I wrote it in my diary.
You and your
I'll pull it out right now. Right, I said
you
today,
and your freaking diary.
No, I said Fracture told me a really funny joke today, and I wrote it down and I dated it. Said you enjoyed Endgame.
So apparently Iron Man 2 is part of Phase 1.
Oh, was it really?
Apparently.
What's Phase 2 then?
So Phase 2, the movies were Iron Man 2, Thor: Dark World, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers: Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man.
Yeah, I'd say Phase 2 is pretty good. Then I mean, Phase 1's iconic. You can't beat Iron Man and Thor, and even though the original Hulk, which was Ed Norton, right? Ed
Right.
Norton? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what in Phase 1 is Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, First Avenger, and then the Avengers film.
Yeah. So
that was Phase 1, allegedly.
And then
allegedly.
Phase 3, I don't even know, was it Guardians of the Galaxy?
Phase 3 was then Captain America: Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Endgame, and then Spider-Man: Far From Home.
So there's at least a few in there that are decent.
From a certain point of view, I suppose, yes.
You don't like any of them? You said you like Spider-Man. You like Falcon. You like Michael Keaton.
I thought it had some of it had potential, but they just ruined it all in Homecoming.
You didn't like Vulture?
Just because I liked the actor that played the role and everything doesn't mean I liked everything else to do with it.
By proxy, yes, it does.
Oh my God.
Listen, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them, okay?
You have very odd rules, sir. Very odd rules for sure.
What do you think inspires them to do this movie? Like, okay, I watched Black Widow, which there's a lot of controversy in that movie because apparently she was supposed to go to the theaters and it went just straight to like streaming. Or she was like guaranteed that it was going to hit the theaters or something like that. Did it hit theaters?
I thought it did hit theaters.
I mean, there was some type of agreement I read. There's an article I read that there was like some type of agreement that it was supposed to be in theaters for X amount of time, and that it was only out for a short time, and then went straight to streaming, and she was pissed about it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The point of the matter is, wasn't a good movie. And then I didn't like, and this character who's like the Russian guy, who was like Marvel's version of Superman, but not with all the crazy power.
No, not that. The Russian guy isn't Sentry. No.
Well, who is he then?
I don't remember what he was called. I don't know. I don't.
He was in Black Widow.
Yeah, he was in the Black Widow movie. I remember that.
Not her dad.
Yeah, it's supposed to be her adoptive father or something, or surrogate father, something.
Yeah.
Black Widow. Let's see. Well, at least I just looked on IMDb. It just has the character's name, Alexi. But thanks, Dan Blackroyd. Red Guardian is
Red Guardian. Okay.
Yeah. He says Red Guardian, a very funny character.
I can't buy into the Marvel humor. It's not. I don't know. I don't want to sound hypocritical because, like,
I was gonna say DC hasn't been any better with their humor.
No, well, you touche, well played. That wasn't what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is there's humor in Phase 1, and right? There's humor in Iron Man. There's humor in Thor,
right?
But it's not that cringe level.
Well, like, it got bad. It got bad after Joss Whedon for sure. Like after Joss Whedon, all the quippy bullshit in Avengers, and then it just started. The snowball effect happened.
I think there's a difference, and maybe this doesn't make any sense, but like Robert Downey Jr. in my mind is a very funny person, and there's a sense of humor that he has, and he doesn't have to try hard to do it, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, like whether it's in film or in an interview, he's just, I don't know. I like to draw a distinction between this real cringy Marvel humor that we see now than I guess the humor that was in Phase 1, because like it wasn't bad. I don't know. I didn't think it was bad. Like, whatever. I don't know. This is just cringe.
It has its moments, but it still just falls flat like everything else.
Yeah. Like, we don't have to deal with cringy humor in DC. We just have to deal with stupid George Lopez calling a white man a fascist with no evidence to support that he's
Oh,
actually
Blue
a fascist.
Beetle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Or
still
we
haven't
have
seen
to,
that movie, so
or we
I.
have to just deal with a black Samoan Black Adam who is Egyptian, not black. That's fine too. That's fine. Different from maybe he's from
Well,
a
you
different
know
Earth.
what? The Samoans for a long time have been playing ethnicities that are not their own. So you know what? Apparently they get the free pass.
Yeah.
Freaking Yokozuna was a Samoan motherfucker. So
Or we gotta, or we just get a really just terrible excuse for a Joker and Jared Leto.
oh god, don't even start with that. I thank God I've not watched. What is that one? Was that one Suicide Squad or
Oh
the
yeah.
Suicide Squad? I forget
Well,
because
he's
there's
in,
Suicide Squad and then the Suicide Squad, which didn't
no,
have Will
one
Smith.
was done by Gunn. Well, no, I
Yeah,
don't think
one
the
was done
first one
by James Gunn, and then the other one was
yeah.
done by some other
Yeah.
guy that now is
Suicide
now
Squad,
they're trying
yeah.
to do the air cut or some bullshit.
Yeah, the
It's
one
like,
that Gunn did had Peacemaker and
yeah,
Clark
had
and Ezra Mill. I, well, wait,
Ezra
the black
Miller was in.
no Edda. The guy who played Heimdall in Thor. Idris
Oh,
Elba.
Idris Elba. Yeah.
Idris Elba. I
I'm
forget
like,
who
who the
he
hell are
played.
you trying to say here, sir?
Yeah. No, but yeah, Jared Leto, which is just, just trash. And then Will Smith, Jay, and you're racist. No, I'm not. Deadshot was white, and Will Smith sucked at it, just like he sucked at in the genie, as the genie in Aladdin. So it's not better, man. I don't know. I can't get excited for movies anymore. I can't tell you the last good movie that I saw that had anything to do with on both sides of the coin, Marvel or DC.
for superheroes.
Just anything. No, I can tell you, and
Uh,
I've said it about 32,000 times on the show. Christopher Nolan's Batman. That was the last, in my opinion, that was the last great, minus the third. We don't consider third canon. Third is not canon. I don't care what anybody says. I'll fight you to the death. Dark Knight Rises.
Just gonna ignore the third one entirely.
Third one never happened. Yeah, I will steal the Men in Black clicking device, and we will just erase the third one because it doesn't matter. It's terrible. But 1 and 2, peak. I would have to sit down and literally try to find things to critique those two movies.
Right.
But even that, minute compared to Black Adam or Blue Beetle or The Flash. Oh God, the fact that Ezra Miller skated off all that controversy and those charges in Hawaii and was still able to play this character, like, is beyond me. And the fact that James Gunn didn't fire him, and I know he couldn't because he didn't. He just had been came on shortly after they were getting rid of Snyderverse. But the fact that he was still able to play,
they scrapped the whole Batgirl movie, so it's like,
thank God they did. My God, I would have lost it. I would have lost my mind if that thing had come to fruition. But anyway, so the fact that he was even casted should show you how inept these people are at Warner Brothers. It's like they own the IP to DC, but fail to read anything. It's no different than Disney Star Wars. It's like they own the IP and they have every single blueprint possible to make a fantastic movie. That's how he works. Like, no excuse. Absolutely no excuse. So I can't get excited for movies anymore.
It is tough, isn't it? So Nerdy Neo confirmed the Suicide Squad was the second one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know who did the first one, but whoever did it is just terrible.
Let's see. Scran had said, my opinions are purely influenced by Dan Blackroyd. Dan Blackroyd had said, I'm convincing more and more people each day. They will join me on the red carpet for the premiere. Star Wars Scran had said, exposed when you were talking about your journal entry. Dan Blackroyd said, I don't believe Fracture told a funny joke, but I do believe he liked Endgame.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a joke, but it was a joke to me, the fact that he said he liked it. That's why I said it was a joke. I wrote it down.
And then he said, the MCU has great movies in all phases. It's just science. It's Marvel Purist with the clown. And then he had said, force choke the like button. I did put that up earlier, but please do force choke that like button. Much appreciated, folks. And then Dan Blackroyd said it's still bad, and it's still bad in Thor 1. The whole trio of fools. Marvel Pierce said someone banned Blake, LOL. Dan Blackroyd said the comedy with DC happens behind the scenes. Oh, that's the difference. Marvel Purist said, hopefully there's a lot of blue beetling going on right now. Oh, I don't like how that sounds. Dan Blackroyd said was the sequel / reboot. Oh, okay. Is a reboot? Seriously? Man, they didn't waste any time with that, did they? Gabriel Knight saying,
I have a question for you.
What's that?
Would you rather watch Thunderbolts, or would you rather watch the fight scene between Anakin and Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds scene?
Probably the fight between Anakin and Ahsoka, because at least that'd be over faster.
Well, you don't let me finish. You have to watch that on replay for
shut
5
up
hours.
for the duration of Thunderbolts.
Yes, you can either sit through 2 hours and 42 minutes of Thunderbolts, or you can sit through 2 hours and 42 minutes of this fight scene with Anakin and Ahsoka.
You know what? I was gonna say, I'll take Thunderbolts.
What's up the ante? What about Acolyte?
The whole of Acolyte or Thunderbolts? I will take Thunderbolts.
Whoa!
I don't want to watch Acolyte ever again. That was some of the worst trash ever. They did our boy Plagueis dirty with just a clip, and then they also did Yoda dirty with just the back of his head.
Yeah,
because of the implications of everything.
And what about the 3 witch sisters that were?
Oh, for the love of God!
That conjured up children on their own by chanting the Force and I are one with the Force. No, that was Rogue One.
Power of one, power 2, power of many, or whatever the crap that fucking shit was.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Making Plagueis look like a pedo.
Something all right. Certainly looked like a creeper, that's for damn sure.
Why was he there? Makes no sense. Or Kai ID Mundi changing his birthday, making him look like an idiot. How he had no knowledge of what was going on, and he sat there.
Yeah, suddenly the Saurians lived a really long freaking time.
Oh, and he just failed to just give details to anybody.
Yeah, the Sith have been extinct for a millennia.
For a millennia, you were just with them.
Oh God. Yeah, I'll take Thunderbolts. Even you kind of concede that one, don't you?
Yeah.
So there we go. Dan Blackroyd, now we're on board. Thunderbolts, let's go.
I didn't even watch all of Acolyte, and I will never. I mean, I've told you this. I will take Book of Boba over Acolyte any day. I will take Book of Boba over anything that has preceded Book of Boba. I think Book of Boba, I'm going on record today saying that Book of Boba, compared to everything that we have watched and reviewed, is just fantastic.
You have put that show on a weird pedestal, man.
Yeah. How do you not though? That is what I'm so dumbfounded. Like, how do you not? We watched Book of Boba. We watched Mando season 1, Mando season 2. We watched Bad Batch
No,
season 1.
I
Season
know
2.
what
We
we've
watched
watched. I'm just
Acolyte. There should be no question that it's the best out of everything. Listen, I'm not saying listen, at least we didn't have to deal with a Mandalorian granted access into an Imperial facility
with
by
his
taking off his
face.
helmet with it to his face.
Oh.
But
But being intentionally stupid does not give you a pass, though. That's the thing.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna just because I had that minor bit of fun with the kaiju fight doesn't mean I'm suddenly gonna give that series a pass for all the other bad stuff it did.
No. It was the kaiju fight. It was the Power Ranger Vespas. It was the Booker T Spinneroonie. It was the Danny Trejo Rancor Whisperer.
The only thing good that came out of it was just the goofy memes for it. Doesn't mean that there's any value in that show to watch.
Telling me right now that story wasn't better told than anything else that we've watched. You're telling me that it's.
I'm not saying any of it. I'm saying it's all trash. It all belongs in the damn garbage.
No,
I believe I have
comparatively speaking, Book of Boba is bar none better than anything they've put out.
I believe I have a clip for that. Where is it? Oh, it's not in OBS, but you won't be able to know. You won't be able to see it. But the glorious audience, they'll be able to see it. And I have. Where is it? God dang it!
In StreamYard, just consume product and
no. I have the Disney Star Wars has one place where it belongs. Oh, crap. I thought I already put it in here, too, but I didn't. Where is it?
What all have we reviewed?
What did I call it?
That's the question.
Huh?
I said, what all have we reviewed? That's the question. I'm pulling up everything we reviewed, and then we're going to...
We've reviewed too much, man. Too much.
Oh, and then Skeleton Crew. We forgot Skeleton Crew.
We never watched that. I never watched it.
Oh, well, you're missing out.
You said you watched the first episode?
Bro, I watched the first couple episodes, and you know what's so crazy? That Theory is like, oh, I really like Skeleton Crew. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not.
All right, let's go back in the timeline here. All right, hold on.
Oh,
we
God.
did. We didn't even do Summer Vacation. We were supposed to do Lego Summer Vacation.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, and we didn't even do Visions either. So, I forgot Kenobi. Oh, no.
Oh, God, that
Kenobi.
train wreck.
Boba
Hey,
Fett.
Jorge Lucas. He says the Power Rangers Vespas might be the worst thing ever. He's not wrong. That was pretty trash.
Kenobi. We didn't do Tales of the Jedi, did we?
We were going to, but
No, we did. We did, I think, one episode. It was with
Did
Dooku.
we? I think we kind of talked about them, but we didn't properly review them.
Yeah. But yeah, and then there's a book.
Because it all just turned out to be more, the Ahsoka show.
Yeah.
With some interludes of maybe some other characters, but it was mostly,
Are we doing
Mighty Orphan Scooter Rangers? Says Melissa Lord.
Are we doing Andor 2? Did we decide?
I ended up figuring we probably would. But I mean, I'm more than happy to tap out if you want.
Oh, Brad said that he wanted to join.
Hello, low spec Linux gaming. How's it going? Saying the power of Manny. Who was Manny? That a mystery to us all. We don't know. Dan Blackrose was excited. He's convinced another victory for us choosing.
We didn't do Rebels.
No, we did. Remember, we watched Rebels in anticipation for Ahsoka.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I forgot that.
At least I know for sure we watched it.
Yeah, we did. I remember that. I forgot. See, we've almost reviewed everything other than
Oh, there it is. There's. I'm a little late with that clip, but I got it. All right, now at least it's in there.
Anyways, I would probably start watching Book of Boba.
I don't know if I'm wondering if you are sincere or what. Oh, Bad Batch. That's right. Yeah. Nerdy Neo's asked Bad Batch. We watched the first two we watched seasons 1 and 2. We didn't watch 3.
Yeah.
That was when we were starting to give up on it. We were finally tapping out.
We were trying to spend the whole season trying to figure out how Omega is not a man, that was cloned from a man, but she's a girl.
Let's not every time.
She's literally cloned from Jango Fett, who literally had a, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And how Fennec Shand fits into the whole series too. Oh, we can't forget about how we were trying to figure out the timeline between Grogu training with Luke and then all that shenanigans. And then how Ahsoka was looking at Luke. Like Ahsoka was looking at Luke like she was looking at Anakin.
Dan Blackbird said, Bad Batch is great. Rhino always says good things about it. I don't remember Rhino really saying that much good about it.
Oh, he loves Crosshair.
Other than a few, just like a couple of episodes featuring Crosshair. But I didn't watch his season 3 review, so I don't know what he said there. So I guess I can't completely go, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do. So to kind of after Thunderbolts and everything, I do have something that kind of came across my timeline. Oh wait, god dang it! Never mind. I thought this was just a trailer. Crap. Never mind. What?
What did you do?
Well, I thought this was just gonna be like a trailer, but it looks like it's also featuring some other Goombas that is talking about the update. So never mind. Crap. I thought I had something. My bad. I don't. Well, let me double check. Hang on.
Did you do a 12-hour stream this morning?
No. I joined so this morning when I got up, I joined Devil Made Me Do It and Dermy Wormy for their little celebration stream for Ballbusters 100th, and Dermy was also using it to kind of grift off his birthday. That's next week, but he was doing it for Ballbusters.
Okay.
And
I was up.
I was asked if I was gonna be able to like join in. I was like, sure, I'll join in, but it won't be until like, for them for Pacific, like the Pacific Standard Time, like 1 a.m. because I'm up at 2. So I'm like, sure, I'll jump in.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, yeah, this guy did a 12-hour stream. If I was gonna say, because if you're doing a 12-hour stream, then you need to do a 40-hour stream when you go on holiday for your birthday.
Oh hell no! I'm not doing a 40-hour stream. I might do a 12-hour stream, just because I've worked 10-hour days, almost 12. So
try to beat Adams and do 27.
I am not doing. No, I am not doing.
Don't do 40. 40 is crazy. Don't do 40. But what you should do is you should be Adam the Renaissance Man's record, which is 26 and a half hours. So you should do 27 and a half hours, and you would have his title.
No, I am not doing that. I know I couldn't do that. I would fall asleep at my desk like I did playing Sea of Thieves, for God's sakes.
But that was because you were working. And you have a new chair, too.
I appreciate the backup on that. I appreciate the confidence you have that I would be able to do that.
I think the people want to see you do it.
I'm sorry. It's not. No.
I didn't say I wanted you to do it. Don't put me.
I know. I'm not. I'm saying it in general.
What if Sheepster joined in?
I mean, I'm sure he probably would, especially if I was like playing games and stuff, but.
So there's a chance.
No.
Well, don't answer it so quick.
All right. I've got something else. Sadly, it's not what I originally intended to talk about. Sorry. But here is something else that came across my timeline that I thought would kind of feed into you, although it's not Batman related. It is DC. Speaking of comic book stuff, we seem to be on a comic book kick. But here it is. James Gunn's Superman heads into reshoots. Director downplays concerns. First immediate thoughts, sir.
Say that again.
As James Gunn's Superman heads into reshoots, director downplays concerns.
Well, I may have some information about this movie. I can't. Well, I guess I can confirm some. Go ahead.
All right, I got it. I got the article in the chat for you, or in the Discord.
Okay.
But James Gunn's highly anticipated Superman film, set to launch the new DC universe, may undergo some last-minute tweaks before its July 11th release. That's cutting it close. While principal photography reportedly wrapped last year, recent comments from Gunn suggest the film isn't quite finished yet. At a press conference covered by Nerds of Color, Gunn addressed the possibility of reshoots for Superman. Writer-director confirmed the test screenings have taken place, stating, "We've done real screenings, definitely learning stuff all the time, and definitely editing and making little changes." Gunn's mention of reshoots might raise eyebrows among fans, given the DCEU's troubled history with extensive reshoots, particularly on Justice League. However, Gunn attempted to allay concerns, describing potential additional filming as a couple little tiny things. I mean, just immediately, like, to me, it's like, it's not like a video game where you can, recraft some things and get, help development time and all that. It's just kind of funny, though. Because reshoots, I mean, that's a whole. Actors could already be in different shape, in different, they're like it was with, like, they mentioned the whole Justice League thing. What was it? Oh God, the Henry Cavill had a mustache that they had to CGI out. So little things like that. Further quote, "All my additional photography is so hard because it's like I used to be kind of against it. Excuse me. Because you don't want to have to shoot again. It's a pain in the ass, but as time has gone on and I've made more movies, I really like being able to say, you know what? I wish I had a shot that first fist hitting that. And so I tend to go back and pick that kind of stuff up. So it wouldn't be anything major, but those kind of things, yeah, I'll cover you a couple more things like that." While Gunn insists these potential reshoots are minor and not aimed at fixing major issues, some skepticism may be warranted. With Superman positioned as a cornerstone of the new DCU, The pressure is on for Gunn and his team to deliver a film that meets high expectations. 7. Guys, Bleeding Fool, correct your shit. As the July 11th release date approaches, fans and industry watchers will be keen to see if these little changes have significant impact on the final product. So, it's not sounding very good if you're doing reshoots of any kind. Personally, this isn't like pushing back a video game or anything. So,
what's technically a reshoot?
Huh?
What is technically a reshoot?
Well, reshoots like redoing scenes and stuff like that, or in this case, like he's talking about like maybe adding scenes, so doing more shooting and then adding it into what they're currently editing for the film. Because they've apparently done.
Maybe it's just them adding stuff to it, or
that's kind of what he's implying here.
Yeah.
If there are reshoots, what we're doing is adding stuff versus like completely redoing scenes, which is kind of what you get the sense of when they say reshoots, because that's what happened with with a lot of the Star Wars films, was especially like Rogue One and stuff. They had massive amounts of reshoots.
Like, this is me not being positive, I guess, but maybe optimistic. However you want to spin it. My hope is that Gunn, though, because someone told, is he directing it?
Yeah, I believe the Superman one is his.
Yeah. So my hope is that we just get a really good movie. Like I used to be not keen on Gunn. I used to think because he was at Marvel, I thought he was always Marvel's trash. But
is that your biases cropping out again?
Yeah, but like I will tell you this. I mean, hate him or love the guy, he is the only guy that has come on board Warner Brothers and actually has had a plan. Now, do I like everything that has happened since he's been in office, if you will? No, but I can't take away from the guy. I can't take away from the fact that he at least had a plan. Like, you know what I mean? So,
are you saying the great, brilliant mind of Zack Snyder didn't have a plan, sir? How dare you?
No. That, in hindsight, Justice League was trash. Like years ago, I said, "Oh man, it's fantastic." You get all you get this in-depth knowledge of the characters. But I made that comment before I had explored the comic book characters, if you will, like Darkseid. I was like, when I truly learned who Darkseid was and everything, and then I went back and watched the movie, I was like, this is terrible. This is absolutely just dog water. It's no different than Thanos, right? Like, if you know anything about Thanos, that's not Thanos in the movie. Like, where's Death? Where's Wolverine? Where's Deadpool? Where's he wasn't a humanitarian. I want to kill half the population so the other can survive. Like, what? No.
Right.
This dude was the guy out there. I should get my comics, but Infinity Gauntlet comics. But this guy was out here doing Lady Death's bidding.
Oh yeah, he was simping hard for Lady Death. He was trying to get her attention and everything.
That's the point, right? If you don't have any exposure to comic books, you'll eat that stuff up. Oh, this is great, Thanos, wonderful. Oh, he killed his daughter. That's so awesome.
Right.
I know. So with the reshoots, my only hope is that this movie will be good, because I want a good movie. I don't want to sit here and hate DC. I don't want to sit here and hate Star Wars, but history repeats itself, I guess, if you will.
It has a nasty habit of it, doesn't it?
A nasty habit of repeating itself. So
just a little bit.
But then again, I don't know how I feel, because I saw this video. James Gunn had posted a tweet of him giving a hug to his good friend Zack Snyder. So I'm like, oh, you.
That's politicking right there. That's politicking 101. He's showing that they're on good terms. Yeah. So it also gets the Zack Snyder tards off him. Little things like that.
My good friend, and I forget what adjective he used to describe him, but something Ryder. And I'm like, oh, dude, it was bad. But I guess you can be friends even if you are a terrible director. So like, whatever. But no, what I was gonna say about this movie, and the reason why I wanted it to be good is because a buddy of mine, and I don't have any way of pulling it up. I guess I could try to find a bit. He went to so in the trailer there's a couple things that I saw that I was like alluded to maybe they were gonna put some characters in here. One, Brainiac, and two, there was a shot of Superman, or what we think Superman, of his back, and his suit is black. Well, McFarlane.com, they did a line listing of the toys that they're going to make for this movie, and lo and behold, guess who is on that list?
Do tell, sir. Do tell.
Ultraman, which is going to be absolutely fantastic if they put Ultraman in this movie in some type of capacity, because there could be the potential that they would explore the Crime Syndicate, which is a fantastic comic. And you have Ultraman, Owlman. It's an absolutely fantastic. Basically, Ultraman is Superman on Earth 2. He's like the
Dan Blackroyd is saying rumor is Ultraman.
Yes, but it was a rumor. I get, but I mean, I guess you can't say with certainty that the fact that they're making an Ultraman for this movie, an Ultraman toy for this movie, that Ultraman wouldn't be in the movie. But again, like, come on, bridge the gap. Like, why would you make a Ultraman toy specifically? Because the thing, I don't know if you've seen McFarlane toys, right? So,
I see his stuff all the time.
They always put on the side what that character is from. Like, I have,
what property they're from, or what comic book, or whatever.
Yes. So the simple fact that this line listing was from the Superman movie is telling that Ultraman could be in this movie. I don't like rumor mongering. Doomcock has that whole monopoly. He has the monopoly on that. But I just, if they bring him in, even if it's in some type of small capacity, I think there's potential to be good, and I'm excited because this is something that we've never seen before within live action, right? And Gunn, who I have heard is a comic book lover. Now, I don't know the guy, but this is just what I've heard. And if he's directing it, he's taking steps. Again, I'm not simping on the guy. I'm just saying, like, this guy is taking steps to explore characters that have never been explored before via live action. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. But I think that's awesome. That's amazing. And I think it's the potential to make this movie really, really good. Or it's going to be bad. Don't know. Crypto's in it. I think that's awesome. Because again, outside live action, we've never seen it.
Okay.
I thought
now you're taking the more positive path. Okay.
Well, I'm more optimistic than positive, right? Because you're going to see the opposite of positive if I go see this movie and it's trash.
Right.
I'm going to take a 4-month hiatus from the show just to recover from it. But so we'll see. There's big shoes to fill, right? Because Christopher Reeves was obviously iconic. He was when you think
he
of
was
Superman, he was the Superman. After that you got outside the shows, like Dean Cain and whatnot. I mean the other
right.
Henry Cavill, right? So. I don't know this actor that plays Superman. Don't know him. Never heard of him. I'm very skeptical with Luthor, the guy who played Beast. He played Beast.
Yeah.
In, X-Men. Luthor's a very specific. You have to have a very specific person to play Luthor. No different than you have to have a very specific character play Tony Stark, right? Because Luthor's the most narcissistic, and intelligent. Not really a shyster, but I mean, I quote, it was Superman Red Sun, where I think I've told you this, and Superman Red Sun, Lex Luthor is playing chess he's playing chess against himself because he's the only one that can beat himself. This is how narcissistic this guy is,
right?
That's brilliant, right? So this guy Timothy Holt, whatever his name is, he's got big shoes to fill. But here's the thing: anybody they put in to play this role of Luther will be better than Jesse Einstein or Jesse
Eisenberg. Yeah.
Oh god, that guy.
From
But then people will
Snyderverse.
but then people come to his defense saying, well, his hands were tied. He had to do, what the directors wanted or what the writers wanted. Which I mean, there's I guess
there's truth of that. Yeah.
You could refuse to do the role, but at the end of the day, like the people, the powers that be are going to have their way. So it's
and he still signed up for the project. He got the script. He decided, yes, I'm going to do
this. It's no
this,
different than freaking. Well, I guess, and the only difference would be with like with Hayden Christensen and Ian McGregor, like, because if they refuse, this is why I get so pissed about it, because they could have refused to do that show, and what are they going to do? They don't have a show. I guess they could AI. But that's why I was so mad at them, because if they refused to do that show, would Kenobi have still been greenlit?
Oh, if they walked away, certainly if Ewan McGregor walked away, they would have abandoned it.
But they still own. I mean, did he sign the rights?
Unless they decided to recast him, and then they could have recast him.
That would have been suicide. I mean, that would have been absolutely.
Well, considering the goofy decisions they've already been making,
Yeah, but to recast Obi-Wan and Anakin, like I mean, they've done some dumb stuff, but that would be like rock bottom. You're negative space.
Right.
Like you have rock bottom and you're digging beneath rock bottom. Like that's how bad it is. There's no low you can go. Like you're at the lowest point. There you can't go any lower. But Disney would find a way, I guess.
Absolutely.
I don't know. We'll see. I want this to be good, because we haven't really had. I mean, we've only had Henry Cavill's Superman. I mean, outside Christopher Reeve, we've only had from a movie perspective.
Well, Brandon Roth, I think it was, that played Superman in Superman Returns, wasn't it?
I have to look it up, possibly.
If
they have Ultraman and if Brainiac is in this movie, which I can't confirm Brainiac. I want him to be. I thought
Dan Blackrated said, rumor is Ultraman is a clone that turns into Bizarro.
Yeah, in the comics, Bizarro was made by Luther.
Yeah, Brandon Roth was in the Superman Returns in 2006.
I forgot that one, but
I think a lot of people did.
I think I want Brainiac in here so bad, because no different than like, it's like the Batman movies. It's always Batman Joker, Batman Joker, Batman Joker. It's rarely,
it's
rarely Batman Ra's al Ghul. It's rarely Batman. You know what I mean. It's always like those two, and then Superman. It's always Superman. Lex Luthor to Superman is Batman to Joker. Like that,
right?
That's his.
That's their iconic. They're iconic villains. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe let's pump the brakes on Luthor and give another villain the chance.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a bad idea.
Yeah. So, but to answer your question, I know I didn't answer it. The reshoots. Is it bad? From a certain point of view, I guess it could be bad. But what if the director has a change of heart and wants to add stuff, right? I mean, I think there can be this negative connotation around reshoots.
Yeah, because even Melissa Lord was like, reshoots are common, but how long do they take? And this movie doesn't look good. Right. And like I said, that's why I was still using the language from the article. It's kind of almost, they're bordering like, well, we might do it, but we might not. If we see things that feel necessary to add in, we possibly will. They're not fully going in, but it sounds like they are. It's so weird.
I guess the argument too I would make is, like, if you're a really solid director, how many reshoots do you have to do? Like George, how many reshoots? And George's a peacock; he's an anomaly. I get it, right? But like, how many reshoots did George do? I don't have the answer to it, but I mean, if you're a really good director, do you need reshoots?
No, he just went back and edited his old stuff and re-released it.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're a really good director and have a really good story, then the story you shouldn't have to have any reshoots, because it's a solid story. The story tells itself. So, but that's the thing. This might be the most subjective thing I've ever said on the show.
Well,
I believe that we live in an era of these directors can't tell. Like it's like Tim said, or Greg said last night on the space, and it's like, nobody can tell a story. Like you talk, the context of it was Greg had made a comment about Filoni and Favreau taking over Disney, but it's like, nobody, like they can't tell a story. A consistent story is just it's nothing. It's crap.
Well, and I think a lot of it lays into what they were talking about earlier in this article, and that was we've done real screenings. So that means test screenings. They've been already kind of shopping us around, doing little test groups and stuff like that. And when you start trying to then shop your movie by committee, you run into problems. This is what happened with what's happened with video games as well. They do basically their own style of test audiences to get, quote unquote feedback on what should be done or whatever. And it's not them just putting out what they creatively think should be done. When you start trying to take in too many ideas from random groups, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it can. Yes, absolutely. Sometimes some reshoots can help, but not always.
They need not to do real screenings because at the end of the day, like, I don't know.
Maybe just take a chance. Just take a chance and see what happens.
Potential of being influenced by somebody who doesn't know anything.
And absolutely.
It's like this kid that used to work for me. He was, he said the sequel trilogy was his original trilogy. And it's like so the point I'm trying to make here is like that's who you want to take feedback from. Right. Now this could be all subjective, but that you're going to take feedback from like this group of people that think this is absolutely amazing when it's absolute dog water, right? I think of like, I really think that like directing has become a lost art. And what I mean by that, and I'm not trying to put George on a pedestal, but like, you look at Spielberg, George Lucas, I mean, hell, even put Tarantino in there. Like there's a very specific, like there's almost like an art, like a hidden art to it.
Right.
It's like Japanese sword making, right? The Japanese can still make those katanas that they did, centuries ago because they continued to pass down the art of making it, right? You can't. It's often duplicated. What's the saying? It's often replicated, never duplicated.
I think that's it.
Right. So we can't tell stories. We don't get good stories. I was yelling at work last night because I was like, I am so irritated. We were talking about Andor, and I was like, it's for 6 episodes. I was trying to figure out where his sister was, and I was trying to figure out where the 8 million credits went. I was like, I shouldn't have to sit here and figure out how the show's going to go on my own, and then come to the point where nothing gets answered.
Right.
It's just
and they don't have the excuse of like old TV shows where they're 20 episode runs and they have filler episodes. These are condensed down to like 8 to 10 episodes. So that means that they should be concise storytelling, and they aren't.
And they're not.
Even in those 10 episodes, 8 episodes, we have filler within that short span of time. It's like, what are you people doing?
This is the point, though.
And there's no storytelling being done.
I can't speak for DS9, right? Because I haven't. We're watching together, and of course, everybody wants to accuse me of watching it. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
Guilty conscience, maybe?
No, absolutely not. But it's like next gen, right? Okay, so you have to understand each of these seasons roughly had anywhere between 21 to 25 episodes, 20 to 24 episodes, right? And within those 24 episodes, and again, Brad may disagree and Adam may disagree, but maybe I just love it so much to where, yeah, you have filler episodes in there, but out of the 20, they're few and far between, right?
Right.
That's just my opinion. But you look at like Mando or any other show we've watched, like out of 8 episodes, 5 of them are filler. Like what happened to his sister? Who was his sister?
We don't know.
And where did the credits go? And why is there a Sith holocron in Luthen's shop? How did Palpatine not know about it? How did he get Starkiller's armor? Why is there an Indiana Jones
the 3
how did
the 3 marked rock?
Why is Padme Amidala's headpiece in there? Why is there a Wookiee beads in there? I think Ahsoka's thing was in there, if I wasn't mistaken. Maybe I was. But
I don't remember everything.
it
I don't
was
remember all of the little shop of goodies that was inside Luthen's office.
They put it in there and they don't explain why.
Well, no, it's just supposed to be in the background as goody little Easter eggs that you're supposed to go, oh, I recognize thing. Seal clap.
You can't put Starkiller's armor in there without an explanation to it. You can't put a Sith holocron in there without explanation to it.
No, and I agree with you on that.
You can't have 80 million credits and then not know where they go. They go to the IRS department. Why? You have to explain to me why you have 8 stormtroopers guarding an Imperial facility because no one would be stupid enough to attack it.
Right.
You have to explain to me how somebody who has no ties to the Empire, was never employed by the Empire, doesn't have credentials, wasn't on the payroll, never talked to HR at the Death Star, how they have access to an Imperial facility. You have to explain to me how somebody can go to a tattoo shop and get new intestines, robotic intestines.
I got nothing on that one. That's for sure.
How droids go into a bar and drink.
Oh God! Not that.
You have to explain to me that if their lore is correct with the Darksaber, how did Bo-Katan get it?
How did we get from reshoots onto this?
And because you started it, you brought this up.
How did I bring up Andor and Mando and stuff?
Because we're talking about reshoots and consistency and telling a story. And how nobody tells a story.
I just suddenly was like, wait, how did we get here? How are we back onto Star Wars when we're talking about DC?
What was the point of putting Val's wife in the show? Why is everything so sad and boring? Why must everything be so sad and boring? That's another thing. Mon Mothma.
God, I know. How, Jesus.
But out of all of that, I think the biggest thing is unanswerable and will never be answered is how you can clone a female from a male.
That will never be answered. And my head just hurts thinking about it. And hail the backseater. How's it going? Saying hail Filter and Hitman. Hope you're doing well today.
Hello.
But yeah, I can't say I have too much high hopes for Superman here in their reshoots.
I wish they would reshoot everything that Disney's done for the better.
I think that's asking for a bit much, but
like at this point in time, Spaceballs is better than anything that Disney's put out for Star Wars. I would watch Spaceballs over anything. Well, that I don't know. Book of Boba's still up there, but Spaceballs told a better story. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I forgot to bring this up. How the space whales are in hyperspace with Mando in the N1 Starfighter.
How?
Yeah.
Okay. Do tell, sir.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm asking how.
I don't know. Space magic. Sadly, that's probably what it comes down to when it comes to Disney Star Wars, is the space magic. Yeah, pretty much. Let me get to some of the chat here. Timona said, I freaking knew it. Yeah, he was I guess he was calling on the reshooting. Dan Black Reddit said, that's not the narrative I heard all along. They said he was the brains behind the MCU, and his movies never needed reworking or reshooting. He makes movies instead of just locking in release dates.
Here's the thing. Also, like I just also want to say that maybe this is all for naught, and it'll be terrible, and James Gunn's just an idiot. Maybe that's too. But I think it really, when you're such a DC fan, it really sucks when it's like you're a diehard Cleveland Browns fan, right? And you want the Cleveland Browns to be good. You want to go to the Super Bowl, and the only bowl that you go to is the toilet. Because you just suck, and you sit there and you want it to be good, but you can't help be like, man, like my team sucks, but I still love them, but they really suck. And the only Super Bowl that we're gonna go to is the toilet.
It's an unfortunate thing, isn't it?
It should be no different for you and Marvel. You should want Spider-Man to be good. You should want every Spider-Man.
I would love nothing but I also know it's not a feasible possibility anymore. So I've just accepted I've just accepted that I have the Sam Raimi trilogy, and I'm a happy camper. And I think that's why people hate me, because I can just accept that fact. I can just take the old stuff and be a happy camper. Dan Blacker said his slate is falling apart before it even begins. The whole James Gunn thing and being this whole, I've got a plan and everything, like it just felt like it was bunk from start, especially with where they were taking off from for all these characters. Like Marvel Pierce is in agreement there. Melissa Lord had said, I said, why do you think he did Creature Commandos and his wife's crap first? Because he knew if he didn't do it in the beginning, it would never get done. The definition of get your shit in, kiddo. Then there's that aspect of I saw recently too an article about him. Yeah, get his wife having another movie or something. Like, I'm goddamn, dude. Jorge Lucas said, remember, it's not a lie if it's just a rumor. Right. Nerdy Neo said Nicholas Holt. I forgot what that was.
Yeah. I think he plays he's playing Luther, I believe.
Oh, yes. Right. Nerdy Neo had also said, never underestimate Disney's ability to make something even worse. 100%. Melissa Lord said, yes, Roth was in Superman Returns. I had something right. Yay. Timon said, Western culture is dead. It's like, I just wish it was just this.
Get on me. It's a culture in decline.
But yeah, Timon, I think you're kind of right. It's kind of dead at this point. It's dead, Jim. Dan Blackroyd said, still haven't had a full trailer yet for Superman. Yeah. I thought we got. Oh, that's right. That was just a teaser trailer, wasn't it? That's right.
Yeah.
Nerdy Neo says modern swords are better since our technology can create metals with less flaws. Timon said, go fractured. Jorge Lucas says, don't ask questions, just consume product and get excited for next product.
I mean, essentially, that's what it is.
Dude, that's what so much of it is. And it's just so funny, the people that propagate it. It's like, nobody is doing any thinking of like, okay, is this any good? Why should I bother seeing it if it's not? And it's like the whole thing of like, oh no, you can't say it's bad until you actually see it. But it's like, motherfucker, I have eyes. I see the way they're, promoting their shit. If I don't think it looks good, why should I bother with it? We've said this before. Trust your instincts. If you have seen enough slop out there, if you go, you know what? This looks and sounds horrible, you're probably right. Sorry, go ahead.
Like Tim, it's probably not connected, but Tim said something last night on the space, and that was interesting. and we can. I don't know if you. I think you may have put it in the Discord, but it was a lightsaber, and he was like, don't give Disney your money, even if it's going to something that I forget.
Oh yeah, he's talked. Tim had talked about that before when it was the Return of the Jedi being put into theaters, I believe.
Yeah,
and he's like, sure, it's it's good Star Wars, but it's still it's still putting money in the pockets of Disney. So even if you are going to, you're showing support for the older stuff, it doesn't matter, because all that's doing is still funding their bad decisions and their bad projects that they want to do, because they don't care about you. They don't care about the old product. All they want to do is keep making their trash, their propaganda, whatever you want to call it at this point. They want to keep making that, and they will trick and sucker you into it one way or another. And certainly Disney Lucasfilm has that ease ability to do so because of these anniversaries. Because now I think this year is the anniversary for Revenge of the Sith, and they're putting it back out in theaters. And so that gets people all hyped. Oh my God. And I'm just like, you know what? I already saw it in theaters. And even if I didn't, like, I didn't see Return of the Jedi in theaters. I wish I saw, like, when Lucas did the special edition releases. But I would much rather at this point in time sit in the comfort of my own home and rewatch my despecialized editions of Star Wars.
Yeah,
and I'll be much happier, much comfier. I don't have to worry about idiots in the theater, and I can just enjoy my experience as I see fit. And my brother makes infinitely better popcorn than any movie theater, so if he does that, I'm fucking golden.
Right. Well, this is the hard thing too, because it's like, there's part of me that's like, yeah, like I want to go see it because I want to see something good. But on the flip side, it's like, well, I'm giving my money to a bunch of people who have not yet found out how to remove their head from their rear.
Yeah, and effectively, hate you on a principled level.
I mean, and for sure, because of what they, the DEI and everything. So it's like, I guess to your point, you've made this point with video games, but it's like, well, just go back and watch the old stuff and just come to the realization and the finality that like nothing will ever be produced that's good comparatively to the things of old.
Just do your research, do your due diligence, see who's putting out what.
You really don't need to, right?
I guess
what
not,
I mean by that is because this has been a trend. This is where the culture's going. This is where, whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, whether it's Disney, like this is where, well, definitely Disney, Marvel, because they're owned by the same company, but even DC, like this is where, I think the culture is going, and therefore it is now okay to make these movies like this. So I don't know. Maybe I probably won't go see it now. I don't know. I'll just put Batman and Batman Returns on replay.
There you go.
Just watch those two shows over and over again.
There you go. Let's see. Jorge, how and also why? The backseater said the answer is genome tampering. For the I think the Omega. Melissa Hurd said, "Preach, Hitman, Spaceballs."
Spaceballs, absolutely.
The backseater says, "Filter, J Hitman, a lot of people are against licensed music from being in Star Wars, but what if they did remixes of classic Star Wars songs, title theme, force theme, Imperial March, and other genres?" Well, they've already done that, basically. I've talked about this a lot. They're in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, they remixed and redid some of the themes and songs in that, and you can hear it throughout different levels from like Dantooine and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's been done before, so it's not unheard of. But in the different genres, I mean, absolutely they could, if they were willing to also like take a chance at different genres. I mean, because they even in the expanded universe had stories and stuff that went into different genres. I mean, for God's sakes, they did actually kind of do, zombies and stuff. So it's not unheard of. Melissa Lord said, Spaceballs the flamethrower. Merchandising. Nerdy Neo, Black Girl Magic. Dan Blackroyd said, Nerdy Neo said the Black Girl Magic. Dan Blackroyd said, get excited for Thunderbolts. He's on the Thunderbolts train. And did I miss? I forgot to, because I know I saw him come into the chat earlier. Did I completely miss the first post from? Because, hey, Brandon Tran, how's it going? He said he'd come in a little bit late, but he's here. Glad to see you, sir. Where did I know I saw the message earlier. Why is it not showing up in the chat? Weird. Because he was talking, I think he brought up the Wonder Woman video game that was canceled. Let's see. Dan Blackroyd said a lot of people weren't happy with Tim's Return of the Jedi take. A lot of tough talking grifters took their box and went home in a tantrum. Yeah, I for something, I saw the different sides of that, those camps going on with that, but I was more on Tim's side for sure. Like I got that 100%. It's like, because at the end of the day, yeah, you're giving them your time, you're giving them your money. And he's talked about it too, where you got to know where to drop that final line. Because if you just keep marking that line further and further back, you just you aren't actually putting a stop to anything. It's just continuing on the endless cycle. And it was so silly. It just got the people that took it so personally too were very clearly too sensitive for it. It's like you didn't have I don't know. It was all stupid, but I was definitely like, yeah, don't give them money for this shit. Even if it, Timon said the quote unquote good shit finances all the bad shit. Yep, it does. And even if they I know people tried to really including Brad a bit, cope real hard with that season 3 of Picard. That guy snuck it in. It's for the fans. No, it's still, they lured you in. They got their extra seasons of other horrible shows, and they're still making seasons to their other horrible shows. Star Trek is just as bad off, is worse off, I think. Between it and Doctor Who, those are probably the two worst off franchises right now.
Yeah.
And Brandon Tran saying, yeah, it's sad the entire game is gone, but it would have been good if it wasn't canceled. Yeah. That's debatable, sir. I know he's talking about the Wonder Woman game that was announced cancellation because they shut down the company for it. Yeah. That's really debatable because I don't even think any gameplay really came out for it, did it? I think it might have had like a cinematic trailer, but that was, I think, it. So, Brandon Trent says, did you guys see some of the comedian Conan O'Brien roast some of the movies at the Oscars? I didn't bother with the Oscars, dude.
I didn't either. I think Brad watched. Well, were they on Sunday when we were doing
they might have been. I know, like, there was like a couple of days where people, or a day or two, it's like a day or 2 days, I forget which, but like people were talking a bit about the Oscars, but that went away so fast. So I didn't care. I didn't bother checking into anything at the Oscars. There wasn't anything big, like the whole, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth and shit, like Will Smith that one year, and bitch slapping Chris Rock and all that. Although, was that the Oscars? I forget. It's one of those stupid. Yeah. I will always be in the camp of all award shows are fake and gay, no matter what it is. For movies, television, video games, it's all a waste of time. It's all a fucking distraction. Nobody has any ability, has no right to dictate what is, the movie of the year, game of the year, because they're also the same bunch of twats that'll say how like, oh, art is subjective and it's to the eye of the beholder to be yada, 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 yada. Yet they're going to turn right around and say, oh, well, this is the movie. This is the best movie for this category. This is the best movie for that category. Oh, this is the game of the year. This is the best game for this. No, fuck off. I've not needed you clowns. I'll speak for myself on it. I'll not needed you bunch of clowns to dictate to me or tell me or influence me to what the best game is. And I'll say games because that's always been my field of things. As it always has been, you go fuck yourselves on that one. All your award shows are nothing but a pointless waste of time. I'll give more respect to people that are like just kind of having a laugh, mocking award shows, not trying to be any kind of authority. Otherwise, if you're trying to all you're trying to do is replace the old with more old bullshit. You're not doing anything. There's nothing new to be done with award shows. Just stop it. Just knock it off. So that's my rant on award shows. Do you have anything to add on to that one, Hitman?
I mean, no, I agree. Makes
Marvel Purist has said Hopium. Nerdy Neo said, I haven't seen one frame from the Wonder Woman game. I just think wasn't it also supposed to like set during like one of the world wars and crap like that? It's like, come on. Timon says to the people that says, quote, we got to support the good shit. Has that worked once? No, it hasn't. It has not worked once. Not one freaking iota. It's pointless. It's stupid. It's like Marvel Pure said, that's like a copium fucking term. Sorry. They will always use what goodwill they put out into the world to then turn around and effectively, anally rape you, because that's all they're doing with the product. Timon says the game of the year is the game I like and frack off. Exactly. I'll determine my own personal favorite game of the year. What I will decide is the best game. Like the only thing I take sometimes into light consideration is some of the reviewers I potentially trust with what they talk about, with what they point out in some games. Otherwise, like, I'll still look at a game and judge it for myself and be like, is it worth my time and money? No? Oh, well, move on to the next. Go back and play something else. I've got my library of freaking games to play. Brandon Trent says Hollywood didn't get respect to some actors that were missing, like Tony Todd, horror legend. Yeah, I heard about him passing, but I didn't hear about this. Or Michelle Trachtenberg, she just recently passed away. Who was in Gossip Girl and Buffy. May they rest in peace. Yeah, a lot of that is crazy. There was like 3 or 4 deaths all in the short span of time. I don't know if Tony Todd was part of this whole group, but yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg, and then oh god, why am I? He played the first Lex Luthor. Crap, I'm forgetting his name now. Gene Hackman. His wife passed away, and then their dog too. It sounded really freaking bizarre. Yeah, okay, Timon, Gene Hackman's death was horrible. I saw also a news blurb. It was quote unquote of natural causes, but they both died. Like I've heard of like a spouse dying like a year later or so after their after the other spouse has died, but like not like that. Like that, it's been sounding really weird. And Nerdy Neo also came in with Gene Hackman, and Timon said, "Trust is the word." It is, and when you've lost all trust with these companies, too, why bother with them? Yeah. Trust what you know, trust what you love and enjoy already, and keep fulfilling that. You don't need the new. If there is something that really catches your eye, and you're like, "That sounds great," then awesome. But otherwise, it's like, no. Nerdy Neo says he had severe Alzheimer's. Oh, did he? I didn't hear about that. And she was his caretaker. Gotcha. Like I said, some of it just sounded kind of bizarre, but I wasn't aware of the Alzheimer's part.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's especially so, because you're just watching the person just leave effectively already. Well, that was a downer.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that
up. Dan Blacker said it wasn't really natural. It was long-term medical problems that eventually took its toll. That sounds a little more, yeah. Like I said, I thought it was really weird, the whole situation in general, but I mean, that would sound more on point than trying to say, oh, natural causes. Really? Timon's now saying wife died of viral disease. Hackman was basically a vegetable, couldn't feed himself, which forced his heart. Jesus Christ.
Sad.
Well, hell, I wish I had something to kind of...
Yeah, you've really screwed the pooch here.
What do I do? Hitman, help me here.
You're on your own. You're the one who brought it up.
Crap.
But you feel bad now, don't you?
Oh, that's sad still, though. Dogs found pills and ate, says Timon. Poor puppers. Well, okay. I've got something. I
don't think you do.
Here, so I saw this, which, is the company making this decision. Steam, by the company Valve, it says Steam will ban all games that force players to watch ads. So Valve doesn't want Steam to turn into a mobile games outlet, as it bans games with forced advertisements from the platform. While this won't stop product placement and similar promotions, it does mean that you won't be made to pause the action and watch an ad to keep playing, which, if anybody that's actually like dived into a little bit of any mobile game, there is nothing but a plethora of that sort of shit going on. As first spotted by Gaming on Linux. Hey, wait a minute. Did we just have that person in here? Thanks, Eurogamer. Valve has just updated its terms of service to reflect this, now adding restrictions on how ads in games can be implemented and how publishers can monetize their games. Now, if a game is monetized through ads, like the ones mobile games make us sit through to keep playing or earn currency, then it cannot be released on Steam. Developers should not utilize paid advertisements as a business model in their game, such as requiring players to watch or otherwise engage with advertising in order to play, or gating gameplay behind advertising. Read up the updated rules on Steam. Valve explains that these elements will have to be removed before a Steam launch is permitted. This I think this is the company making the decision to. It sounds partly because of some bureaucracy, but I mean, what is stopping places like EA, Activision, anybody like that from slapping ads into the next Call of Duty, into the next Need for Speed, or whatever it may be, Battlefield, whatever? Like I certainly felt like it was that way a little bit with from Rare when they did the Killer Instinct launch. Granted, that was to buy their full version of the game or whatever and DLC characters, but it still felt very intrusive and cooked into the user interface to where I just felt annoyed by it, and I just said fuck it, and I returned the game entirely because I was annoyed with all of that.
Well, I'm annoyed with Rare for other reasons.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, just the old Donkey Kong 64 thing. They won't do any type of remake.
Oh, gotcha. So the rules go further, seemingly getting rid of any loopholes. Quote, developers should not use advertising as a way to provide value to players, such as giving players a reward for watching or engaging with advertising in their game. Like I said, this would not surprise me if those other companies that I mentioned tried doing some of that. It wouldn't one bit. This will likely come as a relief to many, as mobile games have a negative reputation for being crammed with these kinds of ads, as the last thing anyone will want is to see this spread elsewhere. Many will make you sit through them to gain currency or lives in a game while charging you if you want to skip them. So while microtransactions are still allowed, which freaking that I wish would go between microtransactions and completely unnecessary DLC. I wish that sort of shit would just go away and go back to the days of actual proper expansion packs where you had like a whole practically brand new game added into your current game. They cannot be incentivized through ads. Any game that does will either have to scrap them or find another way to make us part with our cash. So like it is, I kind of take that as a bit of a win, because then that means you aren't gonna have, if those sort of games do make it onto Steam, some can be enjoyable enough. I won't lie, I've got my one gotcha game that, at least that's how I call the Dragon Ball Legends. That's only because I'm a sucker for Dragon Ball. But I mean, it's good that's not gonna. Thankfully doesn't have that kind of slop thrown in where you go through advertisements just to earn playtime and stuff like that. But you know, like I said, all it takes is this one new game to get that people just lightly accept it, because they've already been conditioned to with these other mobile games, and the next thing you know, it starts hitting the bigger AAA market. So while it can probably seem reflect negative, I'm taking this as a bit of a W. Hitman, do you have anything you want to throw in there?
I mean, this is the second time you've said everything that I've wanted to say.
Okay.
I just don't get it. I don't think anything will ever change.
Yeah.
And that's, sucks.
So yeah, it looks like Melissa Lord saying, I saw this. It's great because if I'm paying money, there better not be any ads, which is why I visit Tortuga. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's when you start allowing these invasive tactics, it just only gets worse and worse and worse. As the phrase is, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And these freaking game companies absolutely will. So shutting them down at any chance is good.
It used to be a foot, now it's a mile, which is,
now
true.
It's 10 miles.
I mean, yeah.
Timona said, how about Valve sell games and not licenses? Too little, too late. I do wish Valve would actually get back into the game of game development. And yeah, like you actually get to keep your game. I mean, at least like we talked about it last week with Good Old Games. You have your alternatives. So yeah, absolutely visit those instead of if you don't like how Valve handles things, you've got at least GOG. Dan Blackbird said mobile games are the worst thing to ever happen in the industry. 100%. I will not disagree with that. Nerdy Neo says Rare doesn't really get to make any decisions. It's up to Microsoft. I instead of bagging on Microsoft as always, I thought I'd direct it a little more at Rare, but you're absolutely right. It is Microsoft that's pulling the strings on that one. It'd be like, I'll still blame BioWare for plenty of their shitty decisions at the same time. It is EA as well. Jorge Lucas. Yeah, it's all of them. Jorge Lucas says, I'm still waiting for the Donkey Kong 64 sequel. Dan Blackbird says, the only game I ever enjoyed playing was Simpsons Tapped Out. I remember checking that one out for a time. Melissa Lord also says, yeah, fuck microtransactions. Jorge Lucas says, mobile games are like the Funko Pops of gaming world, a cheap novelty. I like that. That's good. You're 100% correct. I like that. I might keep that. Timon says, where was Valve when DLC and loot boxes were introduced? Good question. Yeah, for like kind of trying to shut that sort of thing down or anything. They weren't really holding off on it. Timon does say, I put the blame on of this on the PC Master Race, but it's just like an expansion DLC. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever said that about DLC, because it's not. It absolutely, everything that they put out when it comes to DLC is all just cheap, and everything. It's half the experience. They nickel and dime your ass. That's all it is. Timon said, was directing at me. Do you, Fracture Filter, do you know Suikoden? I do. Absolutely, I do. New game is coming, not a remaster. Guess the platform. Hint, fuck Konami. Oh, no. I think I heard something about that. Yeah. But isn't it like a spin-off? Or is it an actually like mainline Suikoden game? Because I played Suikoden 1, loved it to death. I didn't quite continue on with the rest of the series. I mainly watched vicariously through my brother as he played them, because he really got into them. And also a buddy of mine back in the day, they played a lot of the Suikoden games. And I remember getting them through means. Thank you, Jack Sparrow. But especially like Suikoden 5, because I think that one was like really hard to find. But yeah, I don't know what they were doing with the new one. Brandon says old video games on PS2 like Scarface, The World Is Yours is great game. It's like Grand Theft Auto 4. We kind of mentioned, I think, the Scarface game last week. I remember that one. That one was fun. Dan Blackbird says, all the people that have launched class action lawsuits against Hollywood for misleading marketing need to look at the advertising for the mobile games. Not one has ever matched what the game is. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, the false advertisement is ridiculously off the charts when it comes to like mobile game marketing and stuff like that. Timon says, Konami, this new game is an introduction to the world of Suikoden. Wasn't that what the first game was? Konami, why? Just fucking why? You see, this is what, I was about to give him a bit of some kudos maybe if the Metal Gear Solid Delta was going to be good, but now it's just like, you know what? I mean, I should already have an idea, especially the way they cocked up Silent Hill 2. Or, I mean, certainly the problem of handing it off to another company, but not managing it properly to be like, hey, maintain these themes, but Konami. I guess they should have just stuck with because they got into like the slot machines, if I remember right. That's like all they were doing. They like got completely out of the video game industry and had just started doing the slot machines. And I think that might have been how Metal Gear Solid Delta came about, was because I know footage got out, people finding the slot machines for Metal Gear Solid 3. And people were like, what the hell is this? Like, why aren't we getting the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake? So I think that's how that might have come about for sure. Dan Blackbird says, some aren't even close. It's advertised as a Monster Hunter type dungeon game, and find out it's just a shoddy city builder with ads every time you do anything extremely limited play cycles. Yeah. There's been quite a few of those now. Like they like all of their budget goes into advertising the game and completely misleading the person, and then like all they'll do is cobble together in something in like Unity or Unreal Engine and be like, here's the game. We swear it's what it was. It was like it's kind of like how I felt back, and I think that's why I haven't really fallen for a lot of those, is because that's kind of how I took it with Square Enix back in the day, when I felt misled with their because a lot of the times all they'd put out is the cinematic trailers, but we didn't know they were cinematic trailers. They were just putting out the trailers as the game, so it sucked you in and suckered you in until there was finally after enough time, people got pissed off, and it was called, oh, here's the cinematic trailer, and now here's our gameplay trailer. But at this point in time, the gameplay trailer is just as, made cinematically as the cinematic trailers. They're just as scripted, just as choreographed almost. There's no point to them. It's all a shit show. That was part of what made me stay away from Cyberpunk, because I saw how scripted, how freaking on rails everything looked. And I was just like, no, fuck off. Immediately lost my hype. Immediately. Timon says, yeah, mobile with MTXs. Dan Black. Oh, no. So the Suikoden remake, or pre. Oh God, you're saying it's gonna be a mobile game? Oh no, that's bad. What is it? Is this like the Diablo situation? Don't you guys have phones? Good job, Blizzard. Good job. Brandon Trent says, unpopular opinion, all major video game companies, Square Enix, EA, Ubisoft, shouldn't rush the development or delay of games to another 4 to 7 years. Video games should stick to a plan of a good written stories without relying on multiple DLCs and watching a movie like for Final Fantasy. Well, like, Final Fantasy 15. Yes, I believe though that they really need to focus on the gameplay. Again, they need to go back to that, focusing on good gameplay, and then the story be kind of, a bit of second fiddle. But God, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I mean, that should be the main focus, is good solid gameplay, because that's what we used to get. nowadays they put an emphasis on story, but yeah, they don't do good written stories. And when the story is the focus, even good gameplay gets lost in the mix, which is sad. Because like that's my key point. If you're putting such an emphasis on your story, but if the story is shit, it really dissuades me from wanting to play the game. Because I don't want to have to suffer through your bad story, especially if you don't give me an option to skip the cutscenes. Timon says Suicune Starleap. That's it. And over on Kick, I got clue what I got a clue what I'm saying. The fuck is this? What is this stream about? This is Saturday Night Sith, where myself and my buddy Jay Hitman collaborate on Saturdays. We talk about we had a theme before of talking mostly about Star Wars. We've branched out. We now talk video games, movies, TV, comic books, and the like. And I have kind of made a customized little format instead of just the regular like StreamYard, Restream little studio with the two little screens. I did something a little customized. Granted, it was stealing appropriating or allocating things from Star Wars The Old Republic to get the whole like news desk and stuff like that, and some other little OBS tricks and everything to have my Kyle Katarn character along with Jay Hitman's Malgus character as we chime in, talk, and stuff like that. You see the little kind of bobbing to understand when we're talking, and Jay Hitman will highlight when he starts talking and doing the same thing. And so we also kind of have little things that'll switch around for different things for when we're going into other topics. So that is what the fuck this stream is about. And we just kind of chit chat, talk about the week. We interact with the chat because the chat is fun. They always chiming in with some great tidbits and stuff like that. And it adds to the conversation. It's what we're here for. Dan Blackred, I'm sorry to break the illusion. No, this is not what we really look like.
It is. I look like this, especially when I talk to Star Wars fans.
Disney Star Wars fans, yeah. The red eyes start flaring up, and yep.
Oh yeah.
Timon says a good game has to have it all: a good story, good graphics, just not shoddy, good art, good mechanics, and no bugs. Now, I would agree with the no bugs part, but it's almost impossible to get a game free of bugs. One way or another, there is going to be weird ways for a player. There's going to be ways for like no game breaking bugs and stuff like that. Absolutely. But there's going to be the occasional weird bug or glitch where you happen to fall through the world, or you cause something weird and bizarre to happen that the game that developers just didn't account for, because sometimes we're wild. We get up to some goofy stuff in the games, and that can't be accounted for in the know. It has to that is the benefits of quality assurance testing for sure, but not all the time are even those guys coming up with wild and intricate ways of breaking the game. And the thing is that the game developers also have such an ego to themselves, which is kind of what you'd expect, because this is also their baby, their project, their whatever. They're putting their hard work into it, and they might take it a little personally when they get the bug reports and stuff like that, because QA testers are criticizing their game, constructively so. But then not everything gets fixed. They say, oh no, that's actually been corrected already. You just don't have the correct build yet, or any such thing, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to follow up with your bugs and stuff like that. But I just don't believe some things can be fully accounted for. But that's me. That's just my thoughts on that. Because then he says, bugs are a time mismanagement issue.
Could be. Probably is.
I mean, I'm just trying to. I mean, if you've got a game in particular, Timon, where you know there are absolutely no bugs, I'd love to know for sure. Because I can't say that I've encountered a game where I haven't done something glitchy, buggy, and stuff like that. Even the classics, the great good old games, that's what like speedrunners do. They break the games in weird ways that the developers just did not account for. And these people find crazy workarounds to accomplish these things. So I just don't think that is always 100% possible. I just think, yes, put out the most solid, most well-polished game you can. Make sure the gameplay is fun, the story's good, and everything else like you mentioned. Then people will overlook the flaws and the bugs, because then everything else is polished and well done. Just try and keep that stuff to a minimum. Make sure your game is playing good, fantastically day one. No day one patches or any bullshit like that, like they do now, and you're gonna be golden. So that's kind of my rants and thoughts on that one. And hey, Paul Hadoken saying, "What's up? How's it going, sir? Did you survive the 12-hour stream? It was fun hanging out with you guys when I got the chance." Brandon Trent said, if Square Enix could go back to making games like 2006, Final Fantasy 12, which is Star Wars anime, then people won't dislike them. I didn't like Final Fantasy 12. I did not. That Final Fantasy 10 for me was the beginning of the end. Like, for me, that was just like, I was just starting to fall out of that series. I thought 9 was fantastic, but 10 I just thought was dog water.
I thought 10 was great. I didn't think 11. I thought 11 was
Did you even play Final Fantasy 10?
Of course.
All right, what was the mini game in Final Fantasy 10? What was it called?
The Kingdom of Hearts one.
I'm sorry?
I didn't. Kingdom of Hearts one.
Kingdom Hearts one?
Yeah, the Kingdom of Hearts one. You remember?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I know what the mini game was in Final Fantasy X, which you clearly do not.
I just told you.
That's not it. The mini game in Final Fantasy X was called Ject Ball. And it was a little sports game thing that you played in water and a weird soccer game sort of thing.
No.
Yes.
Blitzball. Called Blitzball, not Jex Ball.
Shit.
Yeah.
I thought I got one up on you.
Blitzball, not Jex Ball. Blitzball.
Oh, I got it mixed up because Ject Ball, I think, was the special ability Tidus did. Damn it. I fucked up. Yeah, Dan Blackroyd, Timon and Blackroyd had Blitzball. Fuck me.
He had one job.
I had one job and I got it mixed up. God damn it.
It's okay.
At least I admit it.
Happens to all of us.
Yeah, I played myself. Nerdy Neo says, LOL, congrats, Filter, you played yourself. I did.
I didn't know who Jack Ball. I was like, what?
Jack Shot. That was it.
See,
I'm messing up everything right now. See, that's why I didn't like that fucking game. I didn't like the whole grid sphere system. The summons was goofy. And then don't get me started with X2 or whatever the hell. No. Titus. Tit us? Nerdy Neo's asking me, what WTF did you call him? Tit us? Listen, I don't know how old I was, but his name was he was a goofy fucking character anyways. He was a stupid dream. Orin was the only character worth a damn in that game. That's only because he looked cool. Otherwise, it was Daddy Issues the game. Prove me wrong. Which it might be easy right now, considering how much I'm fucking up.
Yeah, Jack Spool. What did you say?
Jack Ball.
Jack Shot.
Because, like I said, he has fucking daddy issues, and the whole Blitzball thing was all part of it. Timono said, yeah, Final Fantasy X has some issues, but it still was a Final Fantasy game. After that was just shit. Like I said, that was where they started a lot of the stupid marketing with the cinematics and stuff like that. Timon said, I was pissed when I got the ship in Final Fantasy X and there was no mini world, just a list. Dude, yeah, that was what I was so excited for the PlayStation 2 Final Fantasy game, because I was like, imagine the world map where you get to fly around with whatever ship you get or whatever you get going across a massive world, and we didn't get that. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Dan Blacker says Final Fantasy has a lot of dreaming. It was basically all of 8. No, 8 was weird time travel malarkey and mostly memory loss due to the Guardian Force usage. It was like once they started using the Guardian Forces, their memories started going retardo. And it, like I said, it's like weird future bullshit. With the then the I think was it Ultimecia, the Ultimecia, the witch from the future and everything, she was causing shit. I don't know. That game 8 is a weird case. 8 was weird. Brendan Trent, huh?
But you didn't like 9.
I liked 9. I didn't like 10.
10.
Brendan Trent says Final Fantasy 12 has a lot of parallels to Star Wars. Rebellious Princess, Lady Ash, Scoundrel, and alien sidekick, Balthier, and Fran, and old General Captain Bash. I didn't, what partly kind of annoyed me with like 12 was like the main character though took a complete backstep to at least from what, okay, so like it was, I gave up on the game really early on. Like I just could not get into it whatsoever. I saw a lot of the later stuff. It seemed a lot of like you could almost like automate the game. And the storyline just didn't really interest me at a point, even though, like you say, I know about I remember hearing about the parallels for it being with Star Wars and stuff, but like it was, the main character kind of took to me, what I observed, a major backseat to everything else going on, while, yeah, Balthier and Fran seemed more like the main characters than the main character. Dan Blackbird says, yeah, Vaughn could be a Luke stand-in. I guess, yeah. But like even Luke took a more an active role in the story. Like I said, it just seemed like Vaughn was just like more an observer than anything else. But again, I then ended up just watching like my brother and a friend of mine play through that game. So take my opinion for what you will, because it's clearly I'm retarded when it came to remembering Final Fantasy X shit. I won't be able to live that. I won't be able to live that one down.
Blitzball.
Fucking Blitzball. Fuck.
You had it close. You said Jex shot.
I know. Well, I had one part of the aspect of it right, because that was what now I'm gonna. Damn it! Now I can't say Titus.
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 Titus said.
Yeah, I think the Jex shot in particular was either the default special shot or what you could when you're showing the soldiers or whatever, the playing of, and like then his special shot. I think that either the best one was the Jex shot or that was the default, and he used it. It was something else for the more special shot. I forget which. Because I know like it was like you had to get it perfectly done in that moment in order to obtain that like best shot for the goals and stuff. That I weirdly remember. The name of the freaking sport, not a damn. Dan Blackbird said the Gambits was pretty cool. You could build up chains and attack sequences. Timon says Final Fantasy 12, there is barely a story. Oh, all characters suck. The summons suck donkey balls. The battles became button mashing. Brandon Tran says Vaughn and his friend Panello were R2D2 and C3PO. But Vaughn's the main fucking character. He shouldn't be a C3PO. He should be the Luke Skywalker role. He should be an active participant. Certainly more than Timon says, hate Final Fantasy 12 almost as much as Final Fantasy 13. Oh, which one? 13 was 13 the boy band one? Or no, wait, that was 15, wasn't it? Which one was 13? Because I know 11 and 14 are the MMOs. Which one? Because I thought 13 went into like a weird development hell. And then they like split it off into two separate games. And there's 13 verses. Oh, okay. Dan Blackray cleared it up. 13 had lightning. All right. I remember that now. Yeah. I was like, which one was 13? Timon says the Jex shot was a pain to get. A lot of reset and reload. Okay, so it was the Jex shot that was had that you. Yeah. See, I remembered that bit. Timon says 13 was the hallways with bosses. I heard how 13 was really linear. That's right. It was like a really turbo linear game. And then people, I think I got it too. It was a not Final Fantasy 13, but oh god, it was some other JRPG, and people were like, get this because it's more of a Final Fantasy game than 13 was. Let's see. I think I have it in my Steam library. Hang on. I know once I see it, I'll know it. I think I have an idea of what it was called, but I might not. Let's see here. I got too many games in this fucking list. The Last Remnant. There it is. Yeah, I think it is like this game. People were like, get Last Remnant instead of Final Fantasy 13 because 13 is nothing but a linear mess. Dan Blackroy says 13 ended with 3 games. 13 has 3 dumb games, says Timon. Dan Blackroy says 13 is nearly a tutorial all the way up to level 40. Yikes. Brandon Trent says Final Fantasy Versus 13 was supposed to be a game with Noctis and Stella, but Square Enix thought it was too dark and never let Tetsuya Nomura direct it. Oh, and I heard like with Final Fantasy 15 I think that was the one with Noctis and stuff with the boy band. Like they had to censor that game a lot because of China and because of the symbolism, the symbolism with death and stuff like that, and the Grim Reaper and all sorts of weird shit like that. Like they had to really and they had to redo their story because of it. Well, they didn't have to; they chose to because they were trying to get that China market. Timon says 13 story was retarded. The gods want us to do X. We won't Endgame, we will do it, but because we want to. Oy. Dan Blackbird says 13 had some interesting characters. It was just so much hand holding and it felt entirely on rails. The sequels were more fun. Is that right? Huh. Yeah, wasn't it Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns and stuff like that? So, Okay. Hitman, are you still on your time limit, sir? Or should we go into another? Huh?
I do need to get to Costco, but how long is the next one?
The next episode of Stargate?
No, no, the topic.
I mean, I was thinking of going into that one doesn't. At least the one that's a little more currenty would be the Harry Potter news. If you've heard any of that rumblings recently. Oh, you haven't heard any of this stuff, huh? All right. Let's go to the old wizarding world here. I'll be a bit of a whore and go for the currenty news.
But once you do this, you have to go play Hogwarts Legacy.
Shut the fuck up.
It's on sale.
All right. So, anybody not in the know, there's the Harry Potter TV series that they're working on with HBO. But Harry Potter, Janet McTeer in negotiations to play McGonagall. Papa Acedu near deal to play Snape in HBO series. Now, when you hear that name, who do you picture?
Gary Oldman.
I'm afraid you're wrong, sir. Oh, let me share it in Discord. Hang on. Oh, it's already shared in Discord. You could see the article.
I'll pull it up on. I wonder who would play him. The Adam Driver.
Nope. This black gentleman here.
No. Is that Doctor Who?
No, that's not Shuti Gatwa. This is Papa Acedu, if I'm even saying that correctly. Yeah. Damn Blackred, Professor Greg drank. Shit. But yes, they are. So Deadline has the exclusive. Now we have the exclusive. HBO is closing in on 2 more main cast members for its high-profile series adaptation of the hugely popular Harry Potter fantasy books. Oscar and Emmy-nominated actress Janet McTeer, which I can't say I've heard of this lady, but at least she is getting more appropriate to the casting, is in negotiations to play Professor Minerva McGonagall. Sources tell Deadline. Because they're doing a TV series.
Yeah, but
so they have to recast actors and actresses have died and gone on. And
yeah, well, you know what?
Yeah, I know they can't just leave well enough alone. They just have to, they have to go the Spaceballs route, merchandising and other different ways to repackage their product and sell it off to everyone. Yeah, Melissa Lord, we was wizards and shit. Additionally, Emmy nominee Papa Acedu. What I think I'm saying that right. Because I feel like the double A has to be extended like that. One of the first actors identified for the series is closing his deal to portray Professor Severus Snape. The pastiest motherfucker in that book.
Is black.
And this is now here we go. I hear. So they're saying this is very, very weird language. Is closing a deal to portray Professor Severus Snape. I hear. So it's like they're saying it's there, but that's what we're hearing. He's possibly closing this deal, but maybe not. They are poised to join John Lithgow. I heard about this, who, as Deadline reported exclusively, will be playing Professor Albus Dumbledore. Now, last I knew, John Lithgow is a Yankee. He's an American, not British. And last I remembered, when it came to the casting of the original movies, it was it was very strictly, yes, it must all be an all British cast.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen.
Clearly not with. Well, and this is gonna be the thing. We'll get to some of the. I got a few tweets that I saved for this article in particular. HBO declined comment. Quote, "We appreciate that such a high-profile series will draw a lot of rumor and speculation." So wait, this is the thing. They're in this Deadline article. They're saying this is was poised to go on, but from HBO is saying rumor and speculation. The network said in a statement, "As we make our way through pre-production, we will only confirm details as we finalize deals." So a lot of the spurgery going on could be for not. We'll see, I guess. The Harry Potter series, designed to run over a decade, comes from writer-showrunner Francesca Gardner and director/executive producer Mark Millard. Casey Bloys, chairman and CEO of HBO and Max Content, at the time of the original announcement, called the show a quote-unquote faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's novels that will dive deep into each of the iconic books. Speaking at a Max event in London last December, Gardner revealed the series will stick to the canonical ages of Snape, who will only be 31, as well as the Dursleys, who will be much younger than they were in the movies. That explains the choices of 30-something as Sidhu for the role of Snape. The antagonist turned hero, played in the Harry Potter movies by the late Alan Rickman. Severus Snape is professor of potions at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, who eventually becomes headmaster. Meanwhile, McTeer is just a couple years younger than the late Maggie Smith was when she was cast as deputy headmistress Minerva McGonagall in the film franchise 2.5 decades ago. The Transfiguration professor at Hogwarts, McGonagall also is the nurturing head of Gryffindor House and a deputy headmistress under headmaster Albus Dumbledore, who will be played by Lithgow. In the Fantastic Beasts prequel films, the role was played by Fiona Glasgow. With HBO's series, the Harry Potter franchise continues to build a more inclusive and racially diverse universe. London in the 90s. It screams diverse. An effort that started with the casting of Noma Dumezweni? Oh boy. As Hermione in the long-running Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It is something another popular fantasy franchise, Lord of the Rings, also embarked on when transitioning to the small screen with the Amazon series. Harry Potter TV series, which will be filmed at Warner Brothers Studio, Leavesden, where the movies were shot, is slated to debut HBO in late 2026 or early 2027. Some 32,000 kids sent audition tapes for the lead roles of Harry, Hermione, and Ron, with the final casting choices yet to be revealed. This would mark British actors McTeer and Sidhu's return to HBO. McTeer played Winston Churchill's wife, Clementine, in the HBO film Into the Storm, earning an Emmy nomination. Sidhu starred in Kwame, opposite Michael Cole in her BBC/HBO limited series I May Destroy You, landing Emmy and BAFTA TV nominations. Okay. In TV, McTeer most recently started on the Netflix series Chaos with a K, and recurred on FX's The Old Man, and features. In features, she has received Oscar nominations for her roles in Tumbleweeds, which also won her Golden Globe. Albert Nobbs. Here, it will next be seen in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. On stage, she won Tony and Olivier Awards for Doll's House, earned multiple additional Tony. This is now this basically finishing off with their resume, basically. Studio also a BAFTA nominee, Lazarus Project. Most recently did an arc on the hit Netflix spy drama Black Doves, and starred opposite Saoirse Ronan in the movie The Outrun, which premiered 2024 Sundance Film Festival. He'll next be seen British comedy horror film The Scurry, repped by Curtis Brown. So yeah, there is the strong possibility that we are going to get the race swapped Snape. Thoughts?
They always have to race swap.
Well, it is like a lot of people have been joking around. It's like, oh, so now Harry's dad is the racist because he was bullying the black kid that looked funny and it was basically a creepy weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do like. Go ahead.
Oh, I just, it doesn't make. Why?
It's also tiresome, isn't it?
It's very tiresome. It's like, what? Like, why? Like, this is the problem I have. I mean, I don't know. It's like, if a character is white, then they automatically need to be black because it's racist that they were white in the first place.
Well, and they particularly do it with also popular characters.
Right.
Which honestly, I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says.
Like,
I guess unpopular opinion, but Snape was always a cunt.
I like Snape. He was from the same house I'm from, so you should.
Well, my brother got the same house, but it still doesn't stop Snape from being a twat. That the only reason he switched sides was because the bitch he was interested in was going to get killed by Voldemort, and he only wanted her saved. He wasn't doing it for any altruistic reasons. He thought he could save her so he could get her. He's like, I don't care if if I forget Harry's dad's name, but if he didn't care if Harry and his father died, James Potter, he didn't care if they died. He just wanted to make sure she lived in some weird, twisted, I don't know what the frick you call it, but a very one-sided romance, if you want to call it that, or an infatuation, obsession, whatever. He was not a good character. Just because he only switched sides just for that reason. He wasn't doing it.
You might get like attacked if you say that Snape's not a good character. He's got a loyal following.
I know he does, and it's from you. You know what? I'll stop myself there.
I'm just saying, like, you need to be careful.
Listen, I'm just saying. I don't understand. Like, I think Alan Rickman distorts the way people perceive Snape because Alan Rickman played it very much like he knew. And that was how it was portrayed. Like when you go between the books and the movies, like he was very much playing it as he knew. While in the books, it is very much you got that character at face value. And even with the reveal, sorry, like I don't think he's redeemed or seen in any better light. He's seen as an obsessive weirdo that was just basically a cuck and he couldn't come to terms with it. And he was just basically used as a double agent by Dumbledore. Which then that's like kind of like then the whole other thing. Like Dumbledore is then like, oh, he's kind of an asshole too.
Somebody doesn't like Harry Potter.
No, that's the funny thing. Like I like the books better than the movies. Like I thought I did enjoy the books, but when you actually like look at some of the characters and stuff, like
I think Snape was fantastic. The best character probably in all of next to Voldemort. I did not like Bellatrix Lestrange though. I thought she was strange.
She lived up to her name, yes.
Yes. But
well,
yeah,
the whole thing was just kind of weird with like they're trying to go with the whole wizard supremacy thing, but it's like even that gets so it's just like
so like wizard supremacy is fine, but people who are white supremacists are not fine. I don't get it.
No, it was like it's like they tried to do the whole it's got to be the only way powerful through bloodlines and stuff like that, but like even that's been so disproven through their own history. It just seems so retarded. I don't know.
Are you even a Harry Potter fan?
I never claimed to be a fan.
Oh, okay.
I've enjoyed some of the media from it. Yes, like I said, I listened to the audiobooks, which were unabridged, and I've watched the movies. But I do have criticisms of them.
Chiefster must have something to say.
Huh?
Chiefster must have something to say.
Chiefster, do you have anything to say on the topic of Harry Potter?
Your disrespectfulness of Harry Potter and
he has. I just asked him. He has nothing to add.
Sir Alan Rickman.
Huh?
Surely he does. He always has something to say. He's uncharacteristically quiet.
Well, he's not. He's doing his own thing.
He's like an ostrich, man. Like you can never tell him. When was the last time you tried to tell an ostrich what to do?
I mean,
doesn't happen. You know why?
Why?
Because they do what they want.
Absolutely. So just kind of getting to some of the tweets that I was bringing up, I was mentioning, I did see of RK Outpost Ryan Cannell getting his autism on, saying he replied to this guy also named Ryan. This is the exact description of Snape from the books. Quote, he has greasy black hair, a hooked nose, and sallow skin. None of that points to a specific race of a person. Cannell replied with, I've actually read all of the books, unlike you, so I'll help you out. Snape is described several times as, quote, pale, multiple times as having pallid and sallow skin, once as the color of sour milk, and since even that isn't enough, it's described quite literally as marble white during his last confrontation with Voldemort in Deathly Hallows. Hope that helps you, retarded fuck. Hope that helps you, retarded fuck. There was that one, and then I also thought was a good point that was brought up, and this was by Mara Jade here, OG Mara Jade on X. And as she said, remember when all you stuck it to the left by boycotting Hogwarts Legacy to support Rowling? All you fucking told Warner Brothers is you'll support anything Harry Potter. Same with your senpai Rowling, who loved Black Hermione in Cursed Child and is executive producer on this project. I added it on this project, but she then provided the screenshots for producer of Untitled Harry Potter series. There you got J.K. Rowling right there. Oh, I'm in the theater mode. There we go. But there, and then From a J.K. Rowling tweet, canon, brown eyes, frizzy hair, and very clever. White skin was never specified. Rowling loves Black Hermione. So honestly, it is fun. I mean, it's just funny because none of people that bought in did with the whole, they tried to anti-boycott the boycotters of Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm kind of with her on this. It just basically showed them they'll gobble the slop quickly, as long as it's Harry Potter and it's
Please don't ever say gobble. The slop. This is a kid's show. We've talked about this.
But that, people will just, happily consume product and get excited for next product. And in this case, it's just so long as it's Harry Potter and it's done mildly acceptable, even though even in Hogwarts Legacy, you have the Black school teacher and the Black student that basically says, "Oh, your school is shit. It's totally better in Africa or whatever. Their schools totally better out there, bro. But your school, complete shit. I don't even know why I'm here." It's like, what the fuck? Then what? Yeah, what are you doing here? So they had their subversionary bullshit in that. But people ate it up. And that like we talked about it earlier. All it did was give the green light for this sort of shit. Even though you're supporting the good product, they still then reinvest into their poor bullshit like this. And then this account Fenrir did have illustrations of Severus Snape from multiple people that I believe did it for like either book covers and stuff like that. And then take it for what you will, but even Nerdrotic did post apparently J.K. Rowling's sketch of Severus Snape, which doesn't exactly color him in as a black man. So it's unfortunate. More of the poor adaptations and race swappings and stuff like that. They just can't be authentic and stay true to the source material.
I would just like to say this, that if anybody decided to race swap Lando Calrissian, they would lose their ever-loving mind.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. Like anytime they get near a black character, they're gonna be all up in arms, even though they're the first ones to say race doesn't matter, but then it starts to matter real fucking quick with those characters. We know their hypocrisy, they're full of it. But they just fight harder than our side tends to. Because then they all get scared when people start calling them racist. Like, no, I'm not. I've got a based black friend. I'm not. No. Like, fuck off. Shut the fuck up.
If, like, to your point, if Finn was, if they race swapped Finn to be
they did.
White.
There was originally a white Finn character in the expanded universe. I actually have a meme of that. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it really quick. So where I gotta organize these a little more. Sorry, keep talking.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they race swapped Finn. But
well, technically, there was a Finn in the expanded universe during the that came in during the Yuuzhan Vong stuff.
Yes. You can race swap white people all the time, and it's not racist. But if you were to race swap a black person, oh heck no.
Yeah, the torches and pitchforks come out real fast for that.
Oh yeah. Which is just it's like, bruh, so hypocritical. It's almost annoying if you think about it.
It really gets that way, yeah.
It's just does your depravity know no bounds?
Yeah, here's the meme I was talking about.
'Cause I did not know that. So
All right,
it's fine
now
because
you should be able to see it.
No, okay, yeah, I see it.
But yeah, the one on the bottom is the one that was technically. I mean, if you want to, you could say it was a race swap, but they probably didn't know about this character anyways. But yeah, I just thought that was funny since you brought that up. Since you specifically mentioned Finn, I'm sorry. I gotta derailed your point there. I guess we'll have to wait and see too. Because even like hang on, Melissa Lord pointed it out. Redheads get swapped most often. They do. And what might happen to Lily Potter? Will she get the race swap too?
Yeah, non-binary.
Will she be another redhead that bites the dust? Will the Weasleys get all race swapped? There'll be a bunch of Indian like
No, they'll be Asians.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I had no hope for this series regardless. So honestly, none of it came as a surprise to me. It's certainly funny as hell, though. It is so goddamn funny.
It's gonna be like Ring of Power.
Oh, it's gonna be probably it'll probably be as bad,
if not worse.
Rings of Power, because we elves and shit.
But it hasn't even been. What it's crazy. It hasn't even been. I mean, Maggie Smith just recently died. Well, last year.
Was it last year she passed away?
It's 2024.
Oh, let's not get into death again. We already had too much talking.
Yeah,
about
you really moved that up.
I did.
It's yeah. No, but she died in 2024.
You're right.
Like,
she did.
That's quick. She died of cancer.
She'd been battling cancer, and she was still doing that. Oh God, I forgot what this TV series was called, but Downton Abbey. Yeah. And she was still like just basically soldiering on and doing that show and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like I think you kind of were saying it earlier. It's awfully kind of disgraceful for the original actors and stuff.
It is.
Who cemented these characters and everything. So, I mean, we'd see it the same way if they tried to, recast. And although we've talked about it, recasting like Luke, Han, and Leia and everything. Even though at this point the actors hate the roles so much, except for Carrie Fisher, because, well,
yeah. Oh, Carrie Fisher.
But yeah, that's the shit show that is the Harry Potter TV series that's coming up. Let's get to the chat. Timona says, Snape Dog. Melissa Lord, Tom Holland is British, and so is Christian Bale, so fuck that, LOL. I mean, Christian Bale, who could he have played? That could have been interesting.
Lockhart. No, probably not.
Timon said, this has the same smell as DC movies, and I don't even like Harry Potter. Dumb story. Melissa Lord says Lithgow sounds like the only good casting here. I do agree with that. Yeah, he's like probably the only legit actor out of it so far. Melissa Lord says racially diverse means no white people. Yes, it does. That's the coded word for it. Timon says the worst part of Harry Potter is that most magic or wizard items are either pointless or stupid. A lot of it kind of falls into that territory. Yes. Whimsical for the sake of whimsical with no purpose. Let's see. Dan Blackwright said the name's Potter. James Potter. Timon said this Harry Potter series will not be fully adapted. will get canceled before the 5th book. I think even that's a little hopeful there, Timon. I think that's a little hopeful. that'll actually get canceled. I have a strange, bizarre feeling it'll get through. It'll tarnish the series. It'll bastardize things worse than any of the movies could have, and the train will keep going. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully you're right and I'm wrong, but I mean, it would not surprise me that they do everything they can to keep, because like Mara Jade pointed out, people will buy and consume anything Harry Potter. And I think that'll absolutely be the case for this.
Oh yeah, they showed it with Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy was a massive success. Massive.
How many sales? Like $80 million worth of, what was it?
Oh, it was insane.
Yeah.
But again, it was not surprising because it's Harry fucking Potter, and I knew that game, regardless, was going to do good.
It could have been developed by freaking, I don't know, a monkey, and they'd buy it.
All I know is it was a bit of a bait and switch because they were promising one thing and they didn't quite deliver on it.
Oh, absolutely not. But people are still, eating it up.
Yep. Timon says Harry Potter should have died. Harry Potter should have died. The prophecy said both should die. That was a cop out. Did it say both should die? Oh, it did. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, both.
One can't.
Yeah, one can't survive with the other
one lives. Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole Horcrux thing, not the Horcrux, the Deathly Hallows. That was the cop. That was the Deus Ex Machina device to keep Harry from fully dying, because he collected the mystical items. He basically pulled a Legend of Zelda. He had the protection of the items to keep him alive.
Yeah.
Dan Blackridge said, I heard that JK made it canon Snape's final wishes were to see the Thunderbolts in IMAX. You have to experience it big. It's a girthy movie full of meat. Wow. Just wow. Brandon Trent says, race swapping was done by multiple times in other series too, like Percy Jackson books. I've heard about some of these. Yeah. Annabeth, daughter of Athena, is a blonde, or Iris West, who is ginger in classic comics. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it doesn't make it any more acceptable though. Just because other places have done it doesn't mean it's right though. Dan Blackridge says emus are worse. Those are vicious birds. Emas are worse and bigger than emus. Oh, that's right, Dan Blackridge. You're right. Hashtag not Disney, so it's okay. So long as it's not Disney, we're good. Timon says the only Harry Potter movie I watched in the cinema was the one with old guy dies. I fell asleep mid-movie. It was so boring. I don't even think I saw any of them in the theater. I didn't see them until they came out on like DVD or whatever. Because I just wasn't, by that time. Ooh, let's see. When did the first Harry Potter movie come out? Let's see. 2001. So I would have been either, depending on when, I would have been either like what was so, I'm trying to think for high school. Is freshman, was it junior then sophomore, or sophomore then junior? Hitman.
Sophomore.
So I would have been between, because I graduated in 2003. So yeah, I would have been either, depending on when it came out, I would have been in that realm. But I just don't remember being too, like, it never quite hit my my sphere. Like I went.
No, hold on. You were a sophomore in high. When were you?
Hang
no,
on.
what are you saying?
I said I graduated in 03.
Oh, I was in eighth. So I was in like 4th grade when they came out. 5th grade? I can't remember. I remember I got them at the book because I remember we went.
Oh, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Okay, so
yeah, I grew up going to Catholic school, and I remember we used to have book fairs, and the Vatican came out. And was like,
so I would have been a sophomore when they were coming out, sophomore and then possibly junior, going into my junior year.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, if
because I graduated but like from middle school was the end was 99. And then you start late 99 into 2000 for my freshman year. You start then from 2000 2001 for sophomore. So yeah, that's if I've got the time frames right. Because you always have like those 3, 4. Because we would start in August or sometimes kind of early September.
I don't know. I think that I was in grade school, and we're of close to the same age. I remember I was.
Well, I'm gonna be like I said, I'm gonna be turning 40 this year.
Yeah. Oh well, that may have been. Yeah, I was in 4th grade. 5th grade. I don't remember. All I remember is I would have been
in high school for this.
I went to book fair, and the school's like trying to boycott.
Well, I was talking about the movie, not the books.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was talking about the first movie because I had never heard about Harry Potter until the movie started coming out.
Okay, no, that's my fault. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the books.
No, I'm sorry. I should have been clear about that. I didn't differentiate between the books release and the movie release. But yeah, the first movie, like I said, the movies was the first I ever heard of Harry Potter. I didn't hear about the books until the movie started coming out. And I was like, oh, okay. And I later learned about the movie or the books. I was like, oh, they're books. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. So yeah, the first Harry Potter book was published in 97.
Yeah. $1997. Those were the days.
I was mostly playing either Tenchu or possibly Metal Gear Solid.
Which Metal Gear Solid, 1 or 2?
Oh wait, maybe. Hang on, when did Metal Gear Solid come out? '98, so a year later. God, I was 13 playing playing Metal Gear Solid.
Good game.
Great game.
Not as great as Gears of War, but it's up there.
It is. Okay, let me get back to the chat. Melissa Lord says, say goodbye, Harry Potter. Melissa Lord says, this show is gonna flare flop right on his face. The good old flare flop. Timon's also everyone knows how the story will unfold. That is that's a big thing right there. Dan Blackbird says Finn is my favorite EU character. Let's go. Timon says Indians are Asian, Hitman.
Oh,
British to the whole like European thing, they like that's how they are known, yes. But to us Americans, the right way, although we've got the the Dot Indians, which is what I was referring to, and then the kind of Indians, the Feather Indians. So we've got two groups right there. But then Asians are just the people from are from China and Japan, Taiwan, and stuff like that. That's the American way of looking things. Melissa Lord says, I mean, Lithgow being American shouldn't keep him out. No, I don't disagree, but I remember just like initially that was like the whole thing for the original cast and stuff. Like it had to be a British cast. Melissa Lord says Bale was Batman, Bruce Wayne, an American. No, I absolutely. He had the right complexion. Timon says no one ever complained that the secretly werewolf teacher was named Lupin. That should have been kind of a giveaway, huh? Dan Blackbird says, what's even stranger is he wasn't born a werewolf, so his family just lucked out with the last name. What are the odds? Dan Blackbird says, maybe that's why he was chosen, because wasn't he picked specifically by the guy that went about forcibly transforming people into werewolves too? So maybe that was why. Dan Blackbird says it would have worked out so much better if they named him Romulus instead of Remus.
Romulus Lupin.
Melissa Lord says, I joined the army in 99. LOL. I graduated in 98. Timon says he turns 40 tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful one. And you get to do whatever the heck it is you are wanting to do.
Stargate.
There you go. Dan Blackbird says Metal Gear Solid is the greatest betrayal of any character. Liquid was robbed of his rightful glory. And then scrap it all. Poor Liquid. He was just trying to, reinvigorate Big Boss's image of the world. He could have done it if it weren't for his rotten bastard brother, Solid Snake. He could have gotten away with it too. Nobody was going to be able to stop him. Between his Hind D piloting and the Genome Soldiers, he could have done it. But oh no, Snake had to come along with the Fox die and Naomi being a cunt trying to kill him. It all was just a travesty. Well, she's technically trying to kill Solid Snake, but it was kind of a bonus because then it killed Liquid and never got to Snake. And then Snake, at least Solid Snake, gets to ride off into the sunset with a redhead. Until apparently he fucks that up. Which was really disappointing to find out in 4. I'm like, God damn it, why? But then, Meryl had serious gains in 4. So, I don't know. Maybe he lucked out in the end because she got kind of manly. Dan Blackbird says, my Romulus and Remus comment was a Roman Empire joke. I often think about that great time and feel deep sadness they never got to see Thunderbolts. What a shame. What a damn shame that they never will know the greatness ever that is Thunderbolts. Isn't that right, Hitman?
It will go down as the greatest movie of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Timona said, thanks. You're welcome, sir. Like I said, have a wonderful day when you celebrate. Dan Blackbird says, I preferred writing off with Hal for the stealth camo on the replay. Oh, that's right. That's right. You could get the stealth camo from him. But that's like the only time you want to do that is just to get the stealth camo. Otherwise, it's kind of gay. Okay, well, that is that one. Sir, do you have time or do shall we call it?
Yeah, I think we should get into Stargate.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It is now the time for the Hammond's Bush. Hammond's Bush is back. We will be jumping over for our Stargate watch, ladies and gentlemen. And this week,
skipping the mime, the meme, the mooms.
Huh?
We're skipping the.
Yeah, we're skipping the bad episodes.
Yeah.
Or not the bad episodes, just the unnecessary ones. The filler episodes.
The ventriloquist.
So we are going to be going into
Hammond's Bush.
1969, a young Hammond Bush.
It's Hammond's Bush.
And then next time we will probably do a double feature for the finale of season 2 and then the season 3 opener. Okay. So for anybody that wants to join along, remember, you can head on over to Kick, Rumble, or X, and we will still be going there. We will be cutting the feed here on YouTube and and Twitch, because those platforms will strike us down harder than Palpatine shot lightning at Mace Windu out the window. But Dan Blackrider said the handshake in 2 is not gay. I didn't talk about 2. I was talking about 1. But no, that was not. He says it's real, bros. Just after Hal loses another woman in his life. Bro, like Hal turned out to be such a weird, crazy player. He hit it with his stepmom, and then even his stepsister was kind of jonesing for him. Like Huey got double cucked. Like he just was not a winner in life, even though he made Hal somehow. All right, we got Timon already on the kick side. Let's go. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to Dan Blackrider. I don't know if you'll be continuing to watch Stargate with us. Hopefully it'll be cool if you do. Thank you, Melissa Lord. We had Static in earlier. We've had Nerdy Neo throughout for sure. He got to call me out quite a few times. I played myself. We had Brandon Tran. We had Scourge.
You need to get a clip really quick of McConaughey doing "Be cool if you did."
I don't know what that means.
He did it. It was a quote. He's like, "It would be cool if you did."
Oh, okay. Of course, Nerdy Neo I mentioned, Paul Hadoken, Jorge Lucas, Star Wars Marvel purist, Captain Keeley was in earlier. We had the backseater. Low Spec Linux Gaming was in earlier. Gabriel Knight, Star Wars Scran. We had so many of you in tonight. Thank you all so much. If you haven't, please do smash that like button on your way out. If you ever get the chance, please drop a comment. It really does help out with the algorithm. And if you like our stuff, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that jazz. And we will catch the rest of you on the other side as we watch Stargate. Hammond's Bush. All right, we'll see you over there. What? No. Whoops. Where is... Oh, there it is. Here we go.